Hail, hail, and welcome to the HomeBhoys Late Podcast. It is Friday, the 23rd of May. I'm, of course, Joe McCann. We are back. We've got a full squad tonight, eventually. Joined this evening by Takes Money to Buy Hot Dogs, Marty Flynn.
What's happening, bro? As they say in the movies, kid, talk is cheap, but it takes money to buy hot dogs.
Where did I've laughed my bollocks off at that clip you sent us in the chat. What is that?
That's
Where did that
the
come from?
fucking Bill Joe McVeigh from the O'Donnell's Club in West Belfast. What a man. A suits there. A magician. What a guy.
What a great thing to say. Talk is cheap, takes money to buy hot dogs.
No. You forget the first bit. As they say in the movies, kid, talk is cheap, it takes money to buy hot dogs.
It's deep, but it's also fucking meaningless. You know what I mean?
God bless Joe McVeigh.
Brilliant. And of course, joined by a man we didn't think was going to be here today. Longers, what's happening, buddy?
All good, man. All good. How are you?
Not too bad. And of course, mayor of the world, the man who fucking knows more people than anybody else. John Joe Devlin was on me about you actually, J-Bo, recently.
You told me last week.
Did I tell you last week? I must have been patient.
Last week was a good first 10 minutes. That was quality.
I managed to confuse May with March. Fair play to me. That shows you the kind of fucking year I'm having. You know what I mean? Because as far as, see, in my mind, yesterday was Christmas. Right?
Listen, Joe, here's the clue. You were at the last game, okay? When you start to think about it, you were actually there.
Well, there's a lot to be covered now, Liam. There's a lot to be covered about that day out. There's a lot of good things and one particular bad thing, and I want to give a shout out to some people on that part. J-Bo's here, Liam's here, Marty's here, Scott McCory. Scotta is going to be here.
No.
He's laughed out.
He's updated in the chat.
He's laughed out, is he?
He's a piece of shit.
Absolute.
Exactly that. Piece of shit.
Piece of fucking cup final shit.
Laptop is went kaput. You know what? This is where Marty Flynn gets all the flowers because Marty Flynn's on a fucking phone. And if Marty Flynn gets on the phone, surely Scott McCory could do it.
It's right, Jofus. You're right.
I mean, I'm not trying to say effort's a problem. I'm saying work ethic might need to be questioned. I mean,
he's watching these two Italian games.
Ethic.
He's watching these two fucking Italian games with his lad in his hand. That's what he's doing.
Scotta! All right, so we're back. We were on last week. It's 2 weeks in a row. It's not bad going for us. So
it's a miracle.
Between last week and this week, it was Aberdeen and, of course, then St Mirren on Trophy Day. Was anybody here at Pittodrie?
We were on after Pittodrie, Joe.
Were we?
We already did Pittodrie and we established that. That was part of your madness.
Well, there we go.
Sure, I wanted to do the fucking hang live. Sure.
That's right.
Fucking dopey cunt.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad we've started like we always fucking start in complete fucking chaos.
Yep.
Right, so I suppose we didn't talk about that as Trophy Day, is it really?
Suppose it fucking is, Jofus. Go for it. What are you going to talk about?
I had a great day. I had a great trip. Me and myself and young Joseph did our usual. It's our now kind of match going ceremony to go to the lounge, Terminal 1 lounge in Dublin Airport.
The flower pots, as Millie says.
And just fucking empty the fridges. Right? Just get a fucking get some duty free, go back to the lounge, fucking fill up, and then head down, get the plane. Now, as we were at an Airbnb out in Mount Florida, so it was a wee bit of a problem getting there in terms of buses and being late and there. But then fucking see, Saturday morning, the weather was unfucking believable. The weather was just insane. I woke up, fucking sun was coming through the window. I think this is great. Got up, Liam very kindly came and picked us up, brought us to his house, which was very much appreciated. And we were in the house for what, half an hour, 40 minutes, Liam, just fucking kind of hanging out.
Let the way man kick a ball around for a bit.
Oh, he was kicking the ball in the back garden, and then we went up to the train station and head up to the game, and got up there in time to see the team come in with the trophy, and that was great. Place was buzzing, and then got the wee man his brand new kit, socks and shorts, fucking leather. Here's the thing, right? Idiot Joe, the lady that gave me the keys for the Airbnb, fair play to her, Colette was her name. Stayed up like till fucking nearly midnight to give me the keys. When we got in, show me around. She goes, "So by the way, I work for the Celtic pools. There's a 10% card for the superstore." I was like, "Fucking fantastic! That'd be great." So I planned to buy my kid anyway. Stuck on my wallet, brought it to the superstore, and seeing all the furore getting around and our place being packed, forgot to fucking use it like a dick. I mean, like a dick. Spent about 250 quid. Right? I was like, what a fucking. And as soon as I walked out, I was like, you fucking dickhead. I was like, you absolute dickhead.
That's a killer, lad.
So you could have
Oh,
just gone back round and get it refunded and then just bought it again while it was on the counter.
do you know what? That's
Joe McKenna's World Tour of the Superstore.
fuck's this content. No, so it was fucking. That kind of took a wee bit of shame off a moment. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, whatever the fuck. I mean, because like at the end of the day, one of the hats I bought would have been free, and I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, let's look at it that way. And and then out came into the sunshine and got into the stadium nice and early and kind of sat and watched the team warming up and training. I love watching the wee drills and all I do. They've got this mad wee drill. I don't know if you've ever see it. Is they have like it's about 4 players with no bibs. Sorry, 4 players in dark purple bibs, right? And 4 players in no bibs, right? And then in between those 8 players, there's 2 other players in light pink bibs, right? So I was watching it going, what the fuck is this? Because we do the possession drill in the kids' football, and it's just simply like it's bibs against non-bibs, and it's like keep possession of the ball in a big square. And I was like, who the fuck are these 2 other guys? So they're doing this possession drill, and they're zipping the ball about, right? And over a period of a few minutes, I'm watching it and going like, right, so the drill they have is the 2 guys in the pink bibs who are essentially freelance footballers in this wee drill. Whoever they get the ball off, right? And they're out there trying to win the ball as well, right? Whoever they get the ball off, be it non-bibs or bibs, that's the side that they immediately join in the drill. So that's who the 2 of them are zipping the ball to at that point. So essentially, if you get those guys on your side, you've got 6 players against 4, but it only happens if you can get the ball to them. It's fucking class to watch, right? I sat watching that for like fucking 10 minutes going like, this is, and they were zipping the ball like fucking, just watching them fucking dead fast going, this is class. Wee man was enjoying it. And then they had all those flags, right? Those 4 flags on all the seats in the stadium. And some of the lads of the boys were just fucking going around, just turning them off the seats in their section. And I got a bit heated. Lads were getting fucking chased by stewards, and then people were fucking having it out with them. Like, but they don't really give that much of a fuck. Like, it's just a bunch of flags. And then obviously we're sitting there and we get the text through, right? So, it was a photograph. I think it was you, Marty, sent it. But DJ Provey from Kneecap was on the boat coming over. And I said, hey, look, I said, look at that there. I said, that fucking DJ Provey from Kneecap, he's at the game. He's like, oh, where's he sitting? Can we meet him? I'm like, mate, the chances of fucking bumping into him here today are fucking very, very slim, right? So anyway, fucking crack gets going, team come out, game gets starting. About 20 minutes and he turns to me and he goes, I think that's DJ Provey over there. I was like, no fucking dangerous DJ Provey over there. So look over, right? And right smack bang in the middle of the boys is fucking DJ Provey, right? Fucking bouncing up and down. Fucking like the boys all around him, right in front of the barrier, right? Getting his fucking socks. And I was like, it fucking is DJ Provey right enough, right? So next thing, fucking, he goes, we were meeting him. I was like, listen, mate, there's too many people there. We'll fucking wait to half time. You just keep an eye on him. I don't think he watched the minute of the game after that. He just sat and fucking stared at DJ Provey, going like, keep an eye on him, keep an eye on him, keep an eye on him, keep an eye on him. And then we managed to get over. And at this point, people were handing DJ Provey babies at this point to get fucking photographs taken. He started the bar. People were handing them kids and all. Fucking kids were getting fucking big leg ups to go and meet him. It was fucking mental. I mean, and then we managed to catch him at the stairs. I was like, JJ, we photographed the wee lad, got a photograph of him, and he was sound as a pound. I just gave him a big man hug. Man, listen, fight the good fight, brother. And I was fucking buzzed. And then in the second half, he was fucking, he had the balaclava on his section. He was bouncing up and down. It was fucking brilliant. Like, the crack was fucking lady.
He gave a load of the boys his phone number now. Aye, he's like, give me your phone, put his phone number. Maybe he was just carried away, but he fucking loved it.
Aye, you see him loving it, man. He loved it, man. We were kind of watching him side on, going like, he's fucking having a time of his life.
So what was the story? Was he with one of the boys, or just in that area?
It seemed like there was about 2 or 3 boys that he kind of knew, you know, kind of like intimately, as in like good mates. I mean, they were kind of gathering around him a wee bit, not like to protect him, but to kind of just make sure that he wasn't getting fucking completely bombarded, which he was in general anyway. I mean, but so that was good fucking crack for half time, and everything was going really, really fucking well. And then obviously with the game and that, like going fucking 1-0 down and fucking. And then kind of everybody's got blue balls for James Forrest. And see, overall, I thought the game was kind of pretty poor. I mean, I don't know what you thought about it.
Pretty poor. It was fucking awful.
It was.
By the way, that's your bones of your fucking cup final team. You're like, get the fucking Aberdeen team on here. It was proper awful. I mean, at the end of the day, they're obviously no man to fucking injure themselves for the cup final things, you know. It's kind of understandable, but I didn't see that coming. I thought it would have been a good game. I thought we'd have been up for it, but It just seemed a bit of a total non-event.
I did think there was a lot of free kicks given for fucking hands on the back and players throwing themselves down towards the end of the game. It was a fair bit of time wasting. Like, I mean, that bothered me a bit. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, the entire thrust of the kind of last 5 minutes is like, can we get an equaliser and can it be James Forrest? And when he scored, man, the place just went fucking the place erupted. Like, nobody really gave a fuck about the scoreline at that point. Like,
not at all. No. It was one of the. It was a wild celebration. It was like proper, like it was an odd celebration. It wasn't like you scored the last minute winner against that lot or anything. It was just fucking absolute joyousness, just everybody greeting and all that and cuddling each other. But everybody was just fucking so delighted for him. It was just you couldn't have wrote it. Like 10 seconds to go of injury time. So 10 seconds he had of that season to get the goal, and then it happened. And it's just one of the things, when you go back and watch the El Centenary video, you just say, there is something magical about this football club.
Yeah.
You know, just something written in the stars that it had to happen that way. It was just fucking, the tears were fucking dripping me. Everybody it was just absolutely insane. And there was some folk hadn't realised it was James Forrest at the start, and then when they did, they were just gone absolutely fucking tonto. It was so good, man. It was one of the iconic Celtic moments of your life. And it didn't really mean anything, because in the grand scheme of things, who really cares? You know, but and I was hoping Scott was on here, but maybe Liam would know, I don't know, but that must be some sort of world record. What professional football player in top flight football has ever done that? Scored 16 seasons in a row for the one team.
I was thinking about this today, actually, Jason.
No, I think there's a couple of Celtic players that have done it. I think Paul McStay did it.
McStay and McCrory, but outside of that, like, I mean, I wonder.
Paul McStay did it? You sure?
Yeah, apparently so, yeah. Apparently so. I was reading something last week saying it was basically which company Forrest was keeping.
Right.
So
is the record now 18 years for a Celtic player?
I think that's
right.
McGrory. Yeah, I think that's
McGrory,
McGrory. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, but here and like the fucking this will stand for this century. Do you know what I mean? Fuck me. Who's going to stay around this long for any team nowadays? Like, there's very, very few one-player clubs or one-club players nowadays. Do you know?
Jason, the only player I could think of off the top of my head was Matt Letizia, maybe. It's the only one I've been able to kind of get.
You sure Paul McStay? I mean, that would be even better because he was a midfielder. But Jamesy being a winger, you know. But so Matt Letizia, John McGrory, forwards. But so I suppose it'd be a fair Google. But obviously there is some then. But I was just thinking, it's an incredible feat, incredible. If Paul McStay did do it, fair play to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely scored every season he was playing. So I didn't.
Something here now. So he was there for 16 years. He was there, wasn't he? Aye. 81 to 97.
Yeah. So he must have scored 8 in each of those seasons. Like.
So that means if Jamesy scores next season, then he's up.
He'd be ahead of McStay. And here, listen, I mean, there's really nothing to say that Forrest won't be here next season. He's still fucking fit. He has an economy of movement now that obviously he didn't need. You know, he always had pace. The pace is kind of gone. His football ability hasn't fucking gone. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think his pace is gone either. Look at me.
If you see him when he was young, but Jason, you know what I mean, for 90 minutes he was just like a road runner, but he's not. He doesn't need to be now. He's a smart footballer. His economy with the ball's good. You know, he doesn't waste any balls. And like Rogers was talking about him today in his yesterday the other day in his press conference, and he was saying, listen, he says everybody except James Forrest was trying to get James Forrest to score. He said James Forrest was still the whole match that I had him on trying to pick out passes for other people to score. He says, I fucking switched him from one side to the other side, in the hope that he would have a bit more of a go. He didn't fucking do it, so I put him back where he was. He says, and he continually attempted to create chances for others. He says, and that one just came almost like divine providence at the end, where he had no fucking choice, basically. There was no time left on the clock, and he had to fucking give it a lash. So he's like, Rodgers was fulsome in his praise, saying that he's such an unselfish player. He knows his role within the team. He's not the striker. He's there to create and move, pull defenders away, stretch lanes. Even on a bit of phrases, and it was just like he couldn't have been more complimentary. And we've mentioned it a few times here that Forrest was ready to go before Rodgers turned up, and revitalised him as a player. So you can see he's been a great servant since. Imagine we hadn't had him for those whatever fucking amount of years. He's weighed in with. Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
Oh no, just an unbelievable servant.
And I think that is he the only Celtic player that has 100 goals and 100? Well, since like Data started to fucking exist, like maybe the Lions or somebody might have had that, but he's got 100 goals, over 100 goals, and over 100 assists. Like what the fuck? And I know Celtic fans that don't like him.
Oh no.
Like what the fuck? What fucking planet are you on? Like, he's been a tremendous servant from. Sorry, go ahead.
On, sorry. No, carry on, mate. Finish
no. That's all I'm saying. He's been a tremendous servant for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just on the last two games, he's been our best player by a mile. Like, stand out by a mile. He come on and fucking did more in 5 minutes than anybody else done the whole game. He was absolutely terrorising that fullback, and obviously against Aberdeen, he'd been brilliant as well. The game before, I would be starting him tomorrow. And I think he's well placed tomorrow. I
said last season, you have a fit James Forrest, you play a fit James Forrest. I mean, you don't sit there and hum and ha. And having spent some time with the guy myself, you know what I mean?
Well, Joseph, we're just the whole conversation so far in the build up there. So for anyone who doesn't know what you're talking about, go ahead and enlighten them there.
We got invited to the James Forrest at a fan media press conference on Thursday. I think it was a Thursday, and at 2:30, and it was only on Zoom ones. It was us and so like we get the invite. One gets to go out sometime. So I logged on and had a chat with him. Now there was a few like technical issues, and I was like, we sat talking to him, and then the fucking feed went down because I don't know who's in charge of the Wi-Fi bill at fucking Celtic Park, but somebody needs to restart the router. I mean, anti the cache or something out there. So I kind of got it going, and there was maybe about 6 or 7 of us, I think, in the kind of room chatting to him, and he just comes across as a fucking great guy, man. He comes across as a really lovely dude. I mean, and just like this, like very powerful, humble motivation and self-confidence that has done nothing but good for him. You know what I mean? And that was kind of some of the questions I asked him, going like, I mean, fucking, he's been there 16 years. Like, I know he's had his detractors, I know he's had his dips, but here we are. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the message, going like, how the fuck? I mean, does a guy like you who comes across with no ego, a lot of self-belief, a lot of self-confidence, navigate the kind of career you've navigated and still maintain? At the end, you're still kind of the same player. I mean, and he's a very thoughtful responses and a lovely guy. And like I said, he's in the chat. There's always been this kind of thing that he's a bit of a daft dad, and I don't bad at all. He comes across as a really, really humble, nice, easygoing kind of fella. I mean. And I just asked him about his song and stuff, and it was fucking great, man. Great having a chat to him. You know what I mean? Like, because not that I want to slate anybody, but see when somebody asks a question to a guy like, "Oh, what does that feel like?" I think that's a wasted opportunity.
Why don't you play the clip? You not got the clip out?
Will we not get fucked off YouTube? We'll probably get fucked off YouTube for that.
Sure,
we've done it before. No, it's not. We've done it before. We're trying to show fucking video clips, and Scott, we got fucking kicked off. You can't do that, apparently.
All right, okay. Well, anyway, you can tell people what you asked them. Yeah, you had 2 pops at them, hadn't you?
I tell you, your questioning as well, Joe, was absolutely brilliant. I've still not listened to the rest of it, only listened to your wee segment, but you were absolutely great. And his answers to you couldn't have even been better. You get the feeling he would have just blathered to you all night. It just seemed right at home, and he came across as a proper diamond, just a proper diamond.
Yeah.
Funny story as well. Mind I was in that. I got invited into that alphabet box, and I was in the box when he got his first ever hat trick. He came into the box. That was his first ever hat trick for Celtic. I don't know if he's had one since, but it was a midweek game at Celtic Park. Can't even mind who we were playing. And he got a hat trick, and then he came in and met us. And he's like, "It's my first ever one." Kind of amazing, man. That guy.
No, it was lovely to talk. I just asked him. What did I ask him? You know what? Maybe I should just play the fucking clip Marty in front of us. Try to just play it from my phone. Maybe I'll get away with that. See how I go there. Hold on. Now, we get fucked off. We get fucked off YouTube. And, we'll just have to restart again, folks, and that'll be the way it is. I'll just go back through the fucking chat now, so we'll do.
I thought you'd have had that well fucking teed up. That was your moment of triumph, Joe.
I know. But sure, I've had a few. You know what I mean?
Should have had a clip there.
This one on a long list.
I mean, the best one was when they rang me and I had to edit me because me and Ange got along so well. I was like, you cunts are at it. Hang on. You fast forward to the fucking moment when he talks. Hold on. This is great radio, folks. I'm sorry. Oh, for fuck's sake, fucking YouTube. Fucking I mean, lad knows how to get through all this shit. 11 minutes, isn't it?
A spell that I thought I didn't know where I was going to go. I don't know if the club
want
me to move on, or I just didn't know what was going to happen. But it's kind of worked out perfect in the end when you think about it. And as I said, hopefully until I finish, I can get some more good moments.
Hello, James. Congratulations, mate, on your achievements. Fair play to you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. How you doing?
After 16 years, I mean, aside from the kind of football abilities and what you managed to achieve on the pitch, you always came across as a guy who didn't really have an ego, but had a lot of belief and a lot of confidence in yourself. I suppose you mentioned earlier on about passing on your sort of skills on to young people. And football's a lot about mindset. There's a lot about character more now these days than it ever used to be. Is that something that you had to develop? Because you always come across as a guy that was naturally the way you are. But over the 16 years, is it more that you've had to kind of build on in terms of not getting in your own way, in terms of having an ego and having the level of belief and consistency that keeps you going to get where you are today? And is that something I suppose that you feel you could pass on to younger players?
No, definitely. You can think about it. I think you just deal with it's hard when you're coming through the youth, youth coaches to tell you how to deal if you're going to have a bad game or get sent off the first team, or it's hard to deal, people deal with highs and lows differently. But I think what I've tried to manage to do is just not be anyone else. I came through and I believed in myself. I was confident, but I was maybe quietly confident. I wasn't you get different characters in the change room. People are loud and people are quiet. So I think the advice is to younger people is I would say is just kind of be yourself. Don't try and act like someone you're not, and then you can build up to it. You maybe get the respect off first team boys when you're younger if you come in and apply yourself the way you are and you work hard and you don't need to be loud in that if that's not your character. So I think that would be my advice to kind of younger people in regarding that.
What is an eSIM and how do I get one? Is an eSIM which works?
And have you found that to be the same whenever you've had to adapt to different managers over the years? Because people bring in different, tone, a different character, different ideas, and different and build a different environments. Have you found it easy to adapt personally to those situations when they do change? Have you been through a massive sort of cultural change, I suppose, across the club in many, many different ways?
I actually think that's definitely helped me as a player as well. When you come across different managers, they like different styles. They bring in their own people and it can be different as well, but I think that actually makes you a better player and I feel as though that helps you deal with stuff as well. And I always think in my position, obviously Celtic are always signing wingers as well, but I've always liked it because I always feel as though every winger that was signed the full time I've been here, I feel as though I've took bits for different people's games and people can say that you're in competition with them and I get that, but then I feel as though that they can help you and push you on as well. Because I think competition for players, especially as club, is definitely healthy. That you can push each other on, and you can take. As I said, you get wingers like Elanusi, Sinclair, or Paddy Roberts. You get different types of wingers, and that I feel as though that can help you adjust and it can help your game as well.
Brilliant. And last one, James. After 16 years, you're finally happy to have a song.
I don't know.
I was waiting about the start of the song.
I know. I think my family are surprised with that one as well. They've always been slagging me for that. But no, it was great. It was obviously Wednesday night, Aberdeen. It was such a great feeling, and I feel as though like the last 4 weeks, like maybe 3-4 weeks, every time I met someone in the street or just talking to anyone, I just felt as though everyone was like really wanting me to score. So, so Saturday, I was just. It was just great the way it happened, and I was really thankful that I could to score, and just because how much everyone was really wanting me to do. So I'm glad I managed to like kind of repay that.
Well, my wee lad's been singing it all week, James, so that's great. Like, it's in his head. I walk into the house and it's going. I'm like, yeah.
That's good to hear. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Hi, James.
What a guy.
How special a moment was
What a
that?
guy.
Well, and Joe.
What a guy. Lovely guy.
Superb. 2-0 Napoli as well.
Yeah, Scott.
2-0 Inter as well, but
Oh,
surely
here, they're just scored. I was just about to say, fucking hell, they're both cheering at the same time here.
Lukaku and McTominay, fucking different class.
All right. So Jamesy Forrest, I mean, if he scores tomorrow, I can make. Well, he wins this trophy tomorrow. He just, it's one of them things. Like, how many times has he proved people wrong over the years? Realistically, I mean,
6 times.
fucking
ask.
dick.
Ask a
I mean,
fucking stupid question, Joe.
But there's
You're
just
gonna-
always been. There's
The
always
question
been
about
this.
the question about the managers was very good. When you think
Right.
about how many managers he has worked under, and them all having different styles, different approaches, you know, some really technical managers into all the nitty gritty, and other ones like maybe Neil Lennon, who just, you know, more emotional, that sort of thing. And then to be playing under two European level managers in Postecoglou and Rodgers. Do you know what I mean? It's
But
fucking, it's been a
think-
first
I think
place.
Here's what led me to that question, though. What led me to that question was because like you're sitting there listening, you get to have to listen to the questions beforehand, right? And here's to be honest with you, again, I'm not slating anybody. The guy delivered the same answer about fucking 4 times, right? I mean, which is probably what he's used to doing. So I was kind of sitting there going, like, I need to pivot a bit here. And it occurred to me, right? He's very unique in a way that in modern football, most players at this point in their career talk about the changes that have happened in their career when they've moved to different clubs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Very few players that can
He-
stick around.
He is the opposite of that, right? He's been there that long. He's had to basically go through cultural changes of other people coming in, and he's been the mainstay, right? And that's what really made me think, going like, that's a really fucking unique place to be as a football player, because he will not finish his career with a like, well, when I went here, this was difficult. It was difficult with my family. He won't have any of that.
Yep.
But I think,
But he will have the other side of it.
but I was right impressed with his answers to you, and you were saying about young people, and he's like, just be yourself. Don't try and be somebody else. You know, what works for you might not work for others. And when you spoke about the managers, and then he started talking about players, you know, like mentioned Scott Sinclair, and you know, and like he went into his own kind of thing that he takes bits for all the other players. Competition's brilliant. But did he say that to you, or was that listening to a different interview?
Oh, he said that to me because
It was you. Aye.
see when he mentioned Scott Sinclair,
Yeah.
Elianusi, and Paddy Roberts. I thought he was going to say, "Oh, you're in competition with them," but that's not what he said. What he said was, "You can take bits from them." I was like,
Yeah.
"Do you know?" But see, at that point when I was speaking to him, I was like, "There's the fucking difference.
Aye.
That's
Amazing.
the difference. That is the difference in a guy that has a
And
main." And that's kind of what I was trying to get to. Going like, okay,
There's-
well, you clearly you're the guy we all think you are. Right?
There's very few Lamine Lamals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's very few players who are so completely gifted with their balance, their vision, their ability on the ball, their drive. You know, there's so few players who just turn up like that, like a Maradona or or a Messi or whatever. There's so few, and despite the fact there's thousands of footballers playing football every day all around the world, it's rare that kind of a diamond player emerges, and when they do, they cause a sensation because we all fucking know that they're a rarity. So for a player most players need to be coached. Most
Yeah.
players need to gain experience, just as James says, taking bits from other players or being around a higher caliber of player than you are yourself. You can learn from them and move up, you know. And the money in the game tends to ensure that the people who have the biggest package in terms of their footballing ability and everything in one place. They're the ones who go to the top. You know, but so for a player like James Forrest, who's been there 16 years, almost 2 decades, with one club, but playing in the Champions League with us, playing with very, very good players. When you look back, like we've had a ton of shite players, but he hasn't been stuck for good talent beside him either the whole way through his career. So he's been really fortunate in the sense that he didn't have to move away. He didn't end up fucking, you know, having one of those grass is greener moments where it's not actually greener. You know, he's maintained a very, very steady level, pardon me, through his career and playing a really difficult position. And a position where players get no fucking, you know, they just don't get any leeway when you're a winger. You just get fucking dogs abuse unless you're like unreal. You know, people are always like, on your back. Oh, you fucking should have done this, should have done that. You're not fast enough. You're too slow. Your feet are, you know, your feet aren't quick enough. You don't release the ball quick enough or whatever. You know, wingers generally, I think, are the shit upon players in a football team. You know, and it's harder to hide on the wing. You know what I mean? It's easier to hide when you're in midfield or maybe sitting in a centre back line or poaching at the edge of the
There's an
box.
attacking expectation of if there's no attacking going on, everybody looks at you and goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Exactly, that's exactly right. And you know, you're there again. If you take away his goals and just look at his assists, it's fucking unbelievable. No, it's whatever it is on average across 16 seasons. It's phenomenal between his goals and assists, so 200 of each.
And see the mention of his pace. Like, I mean, I still think he doesn't get the same pace, obviously, but he still has a level of pace, right? And if you watch when players approach him to kind of close him down, they're kind of half side on and they're getting low, but they don't really go in for the tackle because they know as soon as they go to ground, he's get past them and over 10 yards, he's gone. I mean, and he's dangerous and he's laying the ball off. He's not going to get greedy and fucking, you know, take it on himself unless he sees it there. But he will, the once he's past you, he's going to make something happen.
And look, there's so many wingers that actually don't beat players. It's kind of a bit of a dying art. You know, they'll run to a player and then they'll look for a pass, but they'll be good if they've got free rein in the wing, you know, to run onto the ball. But he can beat a player.
No, I agree with that completely, Jason.
And see with his pace, he's still fast over 5 yards, you know, when it really needs to matter. I get that if it's a counter attack and you're putting him clean through, he'd maybe be caught short if the defender was fast. But overall, he's very quick thinking. He's got quick feet.
But even watch the goal.
5 yards.
Even watch that goal against St. Mirren, Jason. As soon as Johnson gets the ball played to him, before he gets to his feet, James Forrest comes a wee bit further wide.
Aye.
Comes a wee bit more fucking angled by the post, and just clips that fucking a perfect wee shot. Like
I didn't think Johnson was going to pass that ball at all, man.
I know.
Well, everybody was shouting. If you watch back the fucking, they're all shouting shoot. Everybody's shouting shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they realize it's James Forrest, like it's playing in, and everybody goes, Jamesy, and there's a collective breath intake and a fucking pandemonium.
A special mention to Mr. Heming and goal with St. Mirren, but thank you very much, pal, because he didn't look as it looked like wee Hans Seeger's job.
Well, to be fair, Jason, you see this shot, Forrest does
he slapped it.
He cut, but I don't know. I think he
cuts across
the ball to kind of like the outside of his boot to put a bit of swerve on it.
He cuts across the ball. He uses the spin that's on the ball to kind of like go back around the ball. I mean,
I thought he sclaffed it a wee bit. I didn't think he caught it sweet, but maybe you're right. Maybe he did.
Definitely swerves away from the keeper a little bit. So
I think the keeper could have done better, but who cares?
Well, it was no Tommy Johnson against St. Mirren. We'll put it that way.
No. I mean, there's a guy. See, when you think back to guys like that playing, because he couldn't even. You're talking about Lamal and stuff like that, but balance Tommy Johnson. Bambi on ice.
He can hardly fucking walk straight.
No, Bambi on ice.
But he had heart and character. That's back when you get away with that shit.
Who was it he scored the league-winning goal against?
Against St. Mirren. That's a talk about.
I met him before. My pal used to play with him, and I told him that he scored the worst ever title-winning goal for Celtic. So he found that quite funny.
I watched that in fucking Dicey Riley's in Fort Lauderdale with George Jonas' brother.
I thought you were going to say you watched it in slow motion. I says every cunt watched it in slow motion.
We all did.
And then the celebration was the best. He was off the big cigar celebration. You're going,
Aye, that's right.
hey, you fucking some neck, you cunt.
We spoke. Did I not speak about this a couple of weeks ago about the similarities between this season and that season? Because at that time of the year, around March, April time, we really started to struggle. There was lots of like 1-0 wins. You know, we were just dragging matches over. I think we beat Hearts 1-0. We beat Hearts in the cup as well. St Mirren was 1-0 because Larson had broke his jaw. So Johnson was kind of playing on his own, and Lubo was fucking doing his best at that fucking 64 years old. It was a real tough slog towards the end of that season, and thank God everything worked out okay. We got there, we got the travel, all the rest of it. But like everybody was going fucking nuts about this year, about losing to the Huns and whatever else. But that year, I think too was just coming. It was such a fucking hard close, and we ended up winning the league early. Like it wasn't a big deal, but the expectations were that we were going to blow all those teams out of the water. That's not how football goes, and it was the same this year. And it'll probably be the fucking same tomorrow, you know what I mean? It could be the same shape, last minute goal, or coming off a goalie's fucking back of his head, or somebody's arse, or fucking,
Boo,
it doesn't.
boo you,
It,
boo, fuck
well,
off.
but I've said it on here, I don't know how many times, it's very, very, very rare that you get a brilliant cup final. Hopefully tomorrow, God bless, I hope it is tomorrow, but cup finals are always a fucking drag, it's like it was same the other night.
Look
That
at
fucking
the
match,
Medians the other night.
it was
That
fucking
was
brutal.
awful. That's what you
Shambolic
expect.
game of football.
That's what you expect from 16th and 17th of the Premier League.
I know, but you look at the amount of money we spent with them two squads, put them together. Fuck's sake, it would fund a fucking what do you call it?
Under war.
It would fund it would fund a mercenary campaign in a small African republic. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? You'd be buying Huey helicopters with scandalous amount of fucking waste, like in terms of what you were watching there. No quality. Fucking that fucking gimp with a blonde, what do you call him? Richarlison daving about like a fucking weed. It was diabolical stuff. Like, and in fairness, that's usually cup final fare. Cup finals are rarely amazing. You can think back maybe to Liverpool against Milan that year was mental with a game of two halves and stuff. But most fucking cup finals, I think, are forgettable experiences.
Well, to be fair, we didn't play great, but the League Cup final was pretty exciting. I wouldn't say the quality was great. 3 each, can't really grumble with that.
Yeah, I suppose
But,
so.
when you think back, some of the Scottish Cup finals, you're right.
They're usually kind of key. They're
Dundee.
usually kind. Yeah, that one was fucking. I was alright. They holy fuck. And the one the year before, was that the year before? 2 years in that Doonbay one, and then the year before was Martin O'Neill's last year. That was fucking terrible as well. You knew he was going. That was like an open air funeral.
Larson's last one, we beat Hibs 3-0. That was good. Was it Hibs?
No, Dunfermline. He scored 2.
Was it Dunfermline? We beat 3-0.
I think it was 2004.
We beat Hibs. No, it wasn't his last one, but we beat Hibs 3-0 in one as well.
That was that not the travel year, the first year? Alex McLeish was manager of Hibs. Yeah, so look here, as we're saying, they do. I mean, you do. I'm not saying there's no finals at the thing, but most finals are very cagey. No team wants to lose. So they sort of mind their P's and Q's.
You've got to think that we broke Aberdeen.
I would fucking hope so.
I think so. But
they've had. Here's a general point just before we go into the sort of nitty gritty of the game coming up, but I have never seen a more low key build up to any Scottish Cup final in my life. There has been fuck all about it. It has just been like nearly non-existent. The BBC Scotland had a podcast on a couple of days ago between two comedians. One was a Celtic fan and one was an Aberdeen fan. And I would not be fucking paying to go and watch either of the two dreary bastards. It was fucking like pulling teeth, totally boring. Just, well, we've had a bad season. Oh, well, we've had a good season. It was, you know what I mean? The build-up has just been wild.
Do you think it's maybe got something to do with the FA Cup final not being in the same day, and there's still a raft of English Premier League games to go? I mean, I know the English media don't really concentrate, but normally they give it a bit. You know, when they're talking about the FA Cup final, they'll maybe cut to the Scottish Cup final, and I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. I don't know, but it has been very low key. I would agree with you, Marty.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's just been like. It was somebody else sent me a fucking text message earlier on the day saying I was thinking about it after listening to that shady fucking thing, and then there's the BBC also did like a cup final preview and the women's Champions League and all was thrown in there as well. It wasn't even just like one on the Scottish Cup final itself. There was others things thrown in. You were like, fair enough, it's happening, but like, who gives a fuck? Would you not be better doing a separate one on that and giving them a bit of breathing space on their own, like no interviews or build up or just fucking like, and they even like Clyde. I tuned into Clyde last night. They're all talking about Steven Gerrard and all. He's fucking here. He's not even here. So I don't know whether there's just a general complacency that Celtic are going to win again. So fuck it, there's no sense doing anything.
Yeah, I think that's definitely get part of it, to be honest with you.
You know, so and like the uptake, I'm sure we'll probably touch on this too, but like it's a 50-50 fucking split in the ground. So it's not going to be all Celtic fans glorying over Aberdeen or anything. Like it's going to be, there should be a very good atmosphere. So the match itself should be played under good conditions.
Do you reckon, Liam, they'll put the barriers up tomorrow? See like they do with Rangers, see because of a 50-50 split, or do you think they'll just let us walk between each other?
I don't know.
Just think about getting in there for a pint.
Yeah. It's a good question. I don't know, but I could ask young Scott, who's just joined us.
Is he on? There he's there.
Slid in.
Hello, man. He's okay.
That Italian game's not worth watching now, done and dusted.
My laptop's fucked, mate. So I've managed to plug shit into shit. But I'm in a bad fucking place, and you'll probably feel this. I'm a bit feared tomorrow.
Of course you are.
Right, come in for your counselling session. Here we go.
Oh, honest to God, right? I'm going to bring you down, and you can lift the whole thing back up, right? Joe, you do the coaching. Liam, I know you're Wayne goes to the gas stuff and all that, and Marty obviously, and Jason, you must have been through it, fucking been in things and that. So I take my Wayne's team, and see if Connor isn't into it, I go fucking bonkers. It annoys me, and he was shit tonight. And it's just fucking set me fucking rang, man, right? And I come in and I thought I'd at least 2 pints left in the machine. I got fucking a quarter of a pint out of it. So I'm sitting here with a fucking quarter of a pint. So the night's been shit and it's pissing down. Know what I mean? It's been fucking great for 2 weeks.
Your grass needs it.
Right, or the fucking grass needs it. I need it, mate. I fucking need it.
I'm hearing poor planning. All I'm hearing is poor planning.
What do you mean poor planning? What the fuck are you doing, you clown?
Then you're probably
you gotta bait you.
You're probably drifting back to Trophy Day and saying how bad were we then if we play like that and fucking Saturday.
And no even that, because Celtic have stood up every time we needed them this season. So it's not even that, Jason. It's the whole fucking underdog pish that's been happening all season. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like fucking let's be honest with it, Tottenham didn't deserve to win that fucking game the other night. It was
Neither of them fucking did.
2 fucking ball cunts fighting on a comb, man. It was garbage. And I'm fucking I'm honestly, right, to go on a big fucking rant, I'm fed up of billionaires taking shit, making it expensive and fucking everybody out of stuff. It's fucking honest. See if me and Marty, we picked up a toilet each, and the whole fucking point was to fucking launch a toilet, and the first cunt that hits the other cunt wins. And see if hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people started doing it, some billionaire prick would turn up and go, well, we're going to put a wee bit of fucking magic dust on that, and we're going to charge every cunt fucking 500 quid to fucking do it.
Can McDonald's sponsor
man? So anyway, I'm fucking just, it's shite. See the English Premier League, they're fucking out all the decent the cunts who made it what it is, they're fucking them out. and they don't give a fuck, and the prices go up, and Celtic season tickets went up, and they're no giving us any. Fuck. We're going to win a treble, and I'm feeling like a dick. But anyway, fuck the Queen. King.
No, you're right.
King.
Everything's
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
extortionate nowadays.
Everything, Jason. There's nobody's doing anything for anybody. What? I mean, see, that's cut right. I'm watching that fucking Cowboy show. What's the fucking the last version of the Cowboys, 1923, right? I'm watching this, and it's all about these cunts took off all the land after the Indians, right? And now a millionaire's coming up to take the land off of the normal cunt who took it off the Indians, and they're all talking about. And we've still got Donald Trump taking Greenland because he wants it.
Right.
Know what I mean? There was a show, Joe, you remember this, Paw Patrol, right? And they had a pirate, I remember. And they had a wee guy, and he was a wee pirate, and he went, I need it. Fucking Donald Trump. And then you get to the fucking kneecap stuff, and then you get, I mean, the Palestine, Israel, my head's fucking fried, boys. So, make me better.
Well, in a few hours you'll be waking up. I was going to say in a right sunny day, cup fight.
I'm fucking lying in my... The way I'm feeling the news, Jason, I'll be lying up my own piss in the fucking middle of the living room.
Scott McCrory fucking came in like a wrecking ball.
Oh, he's not like a dog, man.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Joe, right here. I shouldn't probably say this, but kind of right. So I needed a goalkeeper for my team, and I've got a couple of ADHD players in my team, right? Beautiful Wayne, but it's so funny, right? You know yourself, you do Wayne football. You know, like you're shouting, right? Go for the ball, and you turn around, your centre forward's fucking catching rain, and he's mouth and all that. You're like, Dan, run! So anyway. I went scouting and I found this wee goalie, right? And the wee guy's bang on the button. And I was talking to his manager, like, aye. He's got extreme ADHD. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. I mean, another one. So we had that game, right? Makes about 3 or 4 good saves. I'm like, brilliant. And next thing, he's on the halfway line going, I'm really good up front. I was like, fucking hell.
Man. Tell you what, we found a smashing keeper.
Right, we can do this later. Sorry, back to the point. But
here, listen, see when you're on a downer, I've got something I want to go on about. I want to rant about too, but you're
brilliant. Right, I'm away to find beer.
Right. While he's brought it down, I want to bring it down a wee bit as well, right? Liam, I spoke to you about this the weekend, right? So after the game, right? Watch the fucking team lift the trophy. All going great. We man, like, this is great, son. Fucking stuff. It was one of them moments. You go, this is fucking fantastic. I love this. He's at that age now. We're kind of fucking. He's nearly 10. It's like, it means more. It's more impactful. Great. Get outside, and he's like, "Oh, I need some autographs." He's like, "Listen, you know what? It'll be another hour at least." So went in to the sports bar for the first time, which is actually really nice. And into the sports bar.
Did you fucking take a second mortgage to buy a couple of pints? Fuck's sake, man.
I got two pints at the sports bar. I got him a drink. And I met David McLaughlin. David was in there too.
Oh, it's a bad day. Fuck's sake, man.
That's the end of my bad experience.
Fucking just turns up, doesn't he, man? Just fucking
maybe he'll be listening to the morning, they're laughing, saying, "Hey, fucking
Davey McLaughlin.
Come on, Joe.
Anyway, fucking, I said to him, I said, listen, we got to go outside. We're talking the autographs. Then we'll head off for the go-karters. We're going to campus like again for the go-karting because we're mad about the go-karting. Anyway, so we go outside. Fucking that kind of barrier area from the front door down to the car park is kind of rammed. So he's like, oh, let's go down to the railings area. Right? And I was like, you know where the gate is between the railings and then the car park and the kind of area. You know what I'm talking about? There's kind of 2 stone pillars there, right? He's got a few autographs there. So we're down stand there. So I'm standing there. And there's loads of their families there, loads of their kids. And there's these 3 bampots, right? And they're sitting there and they're fucking clearly juiced up, right? And they have a wee fucking speaker. No harm, right? All going well. Everybody's in a good form. Weather's great, no problem. They're sitting there, they're fucking loud, nobody has a problem, they're playing music, it's all going well. Next thing, players start coming out, right? And the woman, this woman's in her fucking late 30s, maybe early 40s, sets off 2 smoke bombs, right? So it's fucking everywhere, right? All the kids are getting the fucking face, the players are getting the face, the players are at that point then running to the fucking cars, right? And we're all fucking standing there going, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, yo, and even security's going like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I said, there's kids here. They're fucking trying to get autographs with fucking they're from their heroes. Like, you're fucking setting up smoke bombs. Next thing she goes, it's not my fucking my fault the way the wind's fucking going. Next thing her fella was over and he's like, you fucking saying my wife again, I'd fucking knock you out. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? I was like, what? So at this point, fucking Joseph's behind me in the railings. I was like, yo, I said, she put her hand on me. I said, put your fucking hand on one more time, I'd break your fucking arm. I said, get the fuck away from me. It's like, next thing a third one comes in and goes, why don't you fuck off back to Ireland? Right? I swear to God, I'm like, yo, at that point, I was like, had to engage the fucking logical brain. I was like, turn your back, Joe, and just be done with this and just fucking stand over your son, right? So I was like, you know what? Point to 3 of them. I was like, we're done talking here, right? So I turn it back. Next thing, they're fucking right behind me, and she's right beside me. And the boys whisper in my ear, he goes, I go, fuck, if your boys here, I'll fucking do you. I was like, yo, what the fuck? So I says to the security guard, I said, yo, my man, I said, can you see what's happening here behind me? I was like, it's very aggressive. I said, my son's here. So the kid, at this point, other parents are like kind of shouting at him, going, what the fuck he's doing? Like, right? And they're fucking kicking off. Like, and at this point, the smoke bombs are still fucking going. I was like, what the fuck's happening here? So I'm saying to the security guard, I said, Mr. Mate, do I look like I'm aggressive to you? He's like, no. I said, good. I said, because behind me right now, I said, my son's here. There's other kids here, loads of parents here. I said, these 3 fucking bampots are kicking off, right? I said, I don't want to get aggressive. I said, I don't want to escalate here. And fair play to me, goes, no problem. He calls over the higher security guy, and he goes, listen, mate, do you want to move? Meet me in the middle and come across. I was like, mate, that would be fucking really appreciated. Thank you very much. So I walked up and met him in the wee red gate to cross over, right? So I crossed over, I went down, and I'm starting, and I'm fucking, at this point, I'm fizzing. Like, I'm fucking starting there going, come on, fucking, I want to punch some fucker, right? I'm talking to a guy down at the end on the opposite side. And he's like, yeah, all right. I was like, I just had this thing over there, fucking, you know. And he said, see them, mate. He said, they're here every fucking week. He said, they're fucking idiots. He said, they're just fucking dickheads. He said, they sit around here all day. They don't even go to the fucking game. He said, they're just fucking causing trouble. I said, there's fucking kids. I said, people are trying to enjoy the day with their kids. It's for fuck's sake. Like, and fair play to the security guy. Good morning. He said, you all right? And I said, I'm all right, man, mate. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. I didn't get his name or anything. And he handed me a bottle of water. He said, he said, fair play to you. He said, you did very well not to fucking react to them. I said, listen, mate, thank you very much for moving me across the way. But I was fucking absolutely raging. I know what flashed across my head, Jason, in that moment. Your disdain for the Celtic family thing.
I was going to say, you can tell you've not really been to that many Celtic games. that's coming across absolutely apparent. So I take it you didn't walk down through Glasgow Cross after the game?
No, we head down and got the fucking train up the canvas line and then got. I wasn't taking them in there.
So we went to the Ladywell after the game, and I've never been down to Glasgow Cross for the party, right? And we were getting the train to Liverpool at 20 to 7. So we left the Ladywell about 20 to 6. So it was kind of finishing down there. But we says, Mum will go a walk down to see what it's like. Because a few of my mates, they were just getting the train back home and that. So there was a load of us all walked down for the Ladywell, down through the back of the barras, and then across High Street and whatever. Fucking hell, it was a Beirut. Honestly, God. Beirut. The amount of young ones didn't know fucking it was New Year of New York.
No, but I've seen all that shit before. Just like, it's just that it was mainly kids and families at this particular moment. And
but
these
Joe,
fucking 3 decades
don't care, mate. They don't. Listen, you go to Celtic away games, fucking they just don't care. They just do not care. See, like trying to add a bit of decorum. All they'll be saying to themselves, that guy's a fucking grass. No, like that'll be in their head. It just, mate, fucking happens all the time.
Any other time, Jason, you'd be fucking just swinging your arms, going, "Come on, you dickhead! Come on, the fuck!" But then again, any other time, I'm not down there to fucking get them. Either, you know what I mean?
Stuff like that happens all the time. You know,
But anyway,
the
shout out to the security guard that moved me because he was fucking. I don't know who he was. I didn't get his name. Shout out to the guy, and he was very, very nice. It's very kind. I was going to contact Davey and say, listen, can you give a shout to that guy? But then I thought myself, if Davey's passed on the message, the guy will probably attack me next time he sees me. I mean,
no, see, it's just shite, mate. But fucking, what do you do?
But anyway, we ended up going to Camus Line go-karting, and we were lucky enough that nobody was booked in. It's just me and the boy fucking flying around the fucking track for about half an hour. Had a great crack. Went back to fucking Mount Florida. Got one of these TikTok viral spacey boxes delivered to the house. I just sat there and watched fucking YouTube videos of James Forrest. It's fucking great, man. Great.
Happy days.
But aye, that's my rant over.
Joe, for the old ones amongst us, what is a TikTok viral fucking food box?
So basically, it was last year, right?
The old one amongst us.
I'm with Liam here. I don't even have TikTok, so I don't know what he said.
So you say for the old ones amongst us now, fucking hell, I'm sitting here going, I don't know what he's talking about.
So many years ago, right? We decided, like, me and the girls sat there in the house, and like, if we're gonna go out for dinner, what we should do is, like, the girls are obviously all TikTok now. We'll find somewhere it's near us. It's kind of like a viral TikTok place. I mean, so we went to this place called WTF Burger out in Ratoff, which is in Meath, which is about fucking half an hour away from my house. Right, but out there, outrageously good food, right? Then we went to another place called Sweeney's of fucking, I forgot the name of the fucking town.
So TikTok's Michelin guy, does it?
That's fucking good. Right? When someone when they do these, swear to God, right? Swear to fuck. Right? So when we go somewhere now and want to take away, we don't know where we are.
Jabo, honestly, I don't think you're fucking half right. I don't say the best, man. But
see, when we go somewhere now and we want to take away, we don't know what's local. We just go on TikTok, go on Glasgow fucking viral takeaways, and you get. And we came up with this one that was only around the corner called Bangin' Burgers, Mount Florida. Smash burgers, chicken burgers, space kebab meat, fucking dipped chicken tenders, cheesy fries, all for about fucking 18 quid. It was great.
Right, happy days then.
And it's rank. I sat there watching James Forrest on YouTube videos.
Talk, I can't be fucked.
Joe, the only thing I've seen, I saw one thing like that. Some fat guy from England that come up. And he went to that. What's that Chinese place in the
Holy fuck! That's the guy that does the table and chairs, aye.
The Rolf Toad concert.
Yeah,
I was it. I
headband on.
But here, listen. See, all my best slow cooker recipes, they all come from TikTok. Depends on how you use these things, lads. Depends on how you use these things.
Hold on. I know I said that this was the fucking, like, slowest or fucking coolest fucking chilliest fucking build up to the Scottish Cup final in history, but come on,
come on to fuck, Joe.
Let's move this shit along.
Now we're rock bottom. Let's build up. Let's build up.
Right. Let me give you the Goodison stories.
Yeah.
No, do that later. Get the cup final and go.
Right, let's go. So, I think these are all going then. Is that me and Marty?
Yeah.
They're all.
Did you get a brief, Joe, or are you just not going?
I'm just not going. I was meant to have another. I had a prior engagement that got cancelled.
Aye, but did you go off for the brief?
No, I wasn't even looking for one. Oh, you mean in the? No, yeah. I didn't know.
Nah, so you never got a ticket, right? Okay. I mean, if had you got a ticket, would you be going?
No, what a going to lame, I'd say.
There you go, huh? Fucking hell.
Well,
that's good to know, Joe. The next time you get the begging ball out.
Oh, it's because no, you fuck.
Hold on.
Liam, explain this, Liam.
For clarity, I pay for the home cup ticket. I pay the home cup ticket scheme on the ticket.
Well, it should be going to you then, kid.
Right, exactly. Let's be clear. I didn't get one on the seat, but I paid the ticket thing.
So wait a minute here.
Fucking Indian giver. I'm fucking Indian giver. Oh, yeah, fucking right, man. Longer's right enough, by the way. I'm fucking long shanks.
What do you call that, Jason?
Take after the poor Irish people. You fucking
what did you call that, Jason? Jason Prima Nocte. He gets Prima Nocte on Joe.
Take that right here, missus in Orica.
Fuck shit. Poor fucking Mirren. Poor Mirren, that's all I'm saying.
I love you. Always loved you.
No, but what I would say there is fair play to Liam. Liam pays the home cup ticket scheme. But so surely if a ticket did come out, it was going to Liam in the first place, and it got to Liam
Yeah,
to you, Joe.
That's the point.
So
That's the
basically,
point.
if the email came in, it was going to go to Liam.
That's
Wow.
cool.
Why am I
mean,
describing
Fucking
myself, you
landlord,
cunts?
the landlord beating down the poor Irish boy. Are we back to Ireland, dude? Are we back to Ireland, Joe?
Aye. So it was the man once known as Longers is now known as Rigsby. Fuck him, I've got Rigsby in the podcast.
Oh my God, man!
Okay, Rigsby.
Just remember Joe was at the cup final against the Huns. Remember Joe? Not long ago.
Yep, I do.
All good.
Oh, did you throw a couple of wee fucking coins down to the wee poor cunt, did you? Aye. There you go. Come on.
Joe, remember all them ticket offers you've had from Scott over the years for cup finals, mate? Get a list of them.
Do you know what?
If
If I recall, actually, Liam, that was the cup final afterwards that Liam Scott ignored me on the road.
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's right.
Are we casting up now? Is it we casting up now?
Oh, it seems to be. We're fucking going down here.
Right, Longers, I've gave you cup final tickets. When you gave me.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, he's giving it to his fucking the cunts that taking his house and all that. I mean, fucking Rigsby.
No, I've just gave Longers the amount of kindness in my heart. How many Longers gave me?
I'm sure there's been one, mate.
Is that right? You think you forget fuck all, so you'd know about it.
Harry, what have I sorted you out of year, pal?
Me, a million fucking times, mate.
There you go.
It's not about credit, people. It's about love.
But I don't like. See, when it comes to cup finals, I don't like asking for tickets. It's not fair.
I'm like you, Marty. I don't like asking for them.
It's just not fucking fair. No, I mean, because I know rightly, I know I could get a cup final ticket from the millions of concerned people I know would go out of their fucking way until they got me a cup final ticket. But one, I wouldn't want to put that fucking burden on them, and two, I know rightly some poor cunt isn't getting who would have had the right to fucking be there. And that, I'm sure, is a good segue into the ticket split and the fucking absolute disgrace of 50-50 splits.
All shite aside, I have to say, right, whilst I haven't kind of battered down doors, this is, and I know we've still got more to go, I've not heard of fucking loads of spares. You even against the Huns, I've heard of spares, but it seems to be tight as fuck, man.
Well, of course it is. There's 40,000 fucking Tims get locked out.
Aye, so I know I mentioned it last week in the pod, so I mentioned about big mate John Go Barton. So just to tell her, I was at his funeral.
Well done, J-Bo.
Aye, and I was getting to a ticket so to chat there, but I went to St Mary's in Barhead or Borhead the day, and what a beautiful chapel, and it's massive, and it was fucking bung to the rafters, and it was what a turnout the big man got, unbelievable. So aye, really sad, but it was happy as well the turnout he got and everything. Aye, so hope his family can take some comfort for that. And I was working, so I had just to get back to work after it. But anyway, when we're outside the chapel, talking to a load of the boys and see the amount of them having to get tickets,
fucking shocking. So could you imagine me winning and I'm going, hold on, can everybody just drop what they're looking for and try and get me a ticket?
Because Marty Flynn, I want a ticket.
No way.
See, the thing is, it always works that way, and it's horrible, right? But it's the way it works. And me and Liam and Scott go to all the away games, and you know nowadays how cutthroat it is. It's just you sort out the folk that sort you, and it's like it has to be a closed shop, because see, like I've got loads of mates that run buses and stuff like that, and they're always asking me for tickets. But if I give them a ticket, we've got a saying that it's a dead ticket, because they'll never give you one back, because they need to look after their members, which is absolutely right. So if I've got a spare, I'm giving it to somebody that sometimes gets spare, and they'll give me one back.
100%.
It's horrible, right? But you have to do that now. Because
we recently... Sorry, Jason. Sorry, mate.
On you go. No, that's it. Scott.
No. So I thought you were finished. My apologies.
No, I'm finished. That was basically it. On you go.
Just to come on the back of your point, and I was telling to Marty about it. there's a fella, Jim Green and Martin, so Marty does the morning bus and all that, doesn't he?
Yeah, the Paul Johnson down in.
So he asked for a load of spaces for up to St Johnston.
Aye, I know the boy. Think me.
You know him.
Anybody
I think anybody goes would know him.
Anybody who travels, Jim goes to every match.
Jim goes everywhere.
Any match you can get to.
And I only knew him through a pal of me and Marty's. And he came on our bus, and the boys were asking, what's this guy? And I says, great, get him on for the reason you're saying, because we get him on, we get a friendship with this guy, we look after this guy, and this guy will look after us. I mean, this is the kind of guy we want to be in Parlaway, because, and sure enough, it come up. What game would it have been? He was looking for an extra ticket for a hard game, and we managed to get a couple for winning the league, and we managed to get him a brief, and you're kind of hoping down the line it comes back to you. Do you know what I mean? But as you say, it's a shite state of affairs that you can't help nice people. But when we've got to this point, again, I went on that rant and I was fucking, but I watched that the overlap the day, and the Liverpool boy and Carragher and Neville were talking about when they won the league there, they get the trophy, and he says there was somebody on Twitter went first ever game, and they've got a video of fucking the team winning the league, first ever game, and the club retweeted it, and Carragher's like, you can just fucking imagine what was underneath it, and he's going, the club want that suits them. Do you know what I mean? That cunt probably spent about 30 grand on the tickets. He probably spent another fucking.
Did you see the one in Liverpool today? Did you not see it in the news?
What's that, Martin? Now?
So a guy has been a season ticket holder for years, and he's a club in the way they have that members club thing.
Right.
So he had booked him and his 2 kids to go on Sunday, and all of a sudden, the fucking cunt cancelled his ticket and refused to give him a refund. So he actually went to the Nolan show here in Belfast, and the Nolan show got on to Liverpool. Man, what the fuck's going on? This man's been going to watch Liverpool his whole life. Biggest game of the year, he's getting the trophy and all, and you've cancelled his tickets. So what it turned out was, Liverpool have a resale scheme. The guy's ticket was £32. He sold it to another member on the same scheme for £30. He says, I actually lost money on the fucking ticket. But whatever happened after that, the ticket ended up in the hands of a ticket tout, and they've just cancelled your man. And he was going, I sold it to another member on the scheme. I didn't fucking sell it to a ticket tout. What the fuck am I being punished for? And just went, nah, fuck you, no tolerance, 0 tolerance thing. And I issued a statement saying, nah, fuck him.
See, to be fair with that, Marty, see at Celtic as well, see if you're issued with that ticket, and that ticket ends up in the hands of a ticket tout, you're the one that's done for it.
But his point was, he used the club's own channel for redistributing the ticket. That was his point.
So there's an audit trail then. So they should be able to know that he did it. Right, that's different, because we don't have that scheme. But effectively, that's how you need to be careful who, because see for years and years and years, and I've never done it in my life, and none of my mates ever would. But there is people out there now that are selling Celtic tickets for profits, and it's terrible. But see, all the folk that I'm involved in, see if you charge a shilling more than that, as you get blacklisted, and you'll never get a ticket off any of us again. Yeah. And it's no the done thing. And Scott, I take it your bus, you'd get barred off the bus if you were caught doing stuff like that.
100%. 100%. To tell you a funny wee story, just a wee segue to come back to the point that so I hate that I've done it, but I still hate it, and I still think it's wrong 100%. But so you know me, I'm kind of moaning every year I've not got a European ticket in, my European record's down to 0 and stuff like that. And basically everybody's just taking tickets for every game they're offered to keep their own record up for when they go, right? Yep. And it's wrong. But I understand why we do it. So Munich came around, we took these tickets, and they offered them out to people with 0. And I was on 0, and everybody went, grab it. So I grabbed one. So I've done exactly what I'm moaning about. I'm a hypocrite out my face. I gave it to my mate, and I says, if you can punt it, brilliant. If you can't, then. So anyway, they're in Munich, and I think the story was there was 2 Palestine guys. I could be wrong, but sorry, it was a group of, and they wanted to go to the game, and Jerry had 2, and this other guy had 2, and the boys, and the guy tried to sell them to the Palestine boys, and Jerry stood up and went, "You're no fucking selling, just give them the tickets, because no other cunt's fucking buying them off you." Do you know what I mean? And I was like, and it's just, you can't be punting tickets for 1 penny more. You just can't. Else you're basically geeing up and saying, because I went on that wee rant earlier on, right? And I kind of, but I'm totally frustrated. Joe, Marty, you boxing guys. Boxing's now been taken out of you. But when we grew up, boxing was on the telly. Boxing's away now. They've took it off us and they've put it. You've got to pay extra on tappy, and they've put it at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, and now they're putting it 12. And it's in Saudi Arabia's took boxing off us, right? See if you're into wrestling. See if you're into wrestling. Wrestling's gone. Wrestling's Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's took wrestling off you, and they're trying to take football off us. But there was a fucking wee Australian billionaire who took football. I mean, see all these EPL fans back in the day all celebrating how much money they get. They're celebrating football getting taken off a normal man's telly. Yeah. And put it was basically Sky made it pay-per-view. That's what they did. They took our game, and the game that was for all us, we could all afford that. I told you before, there was a wee boy down in Manchester, and he works with my company, so he'd be in a decent dough, and he says to me, "Oh, I've never been to Old Trafford. I can't really afford to go to games." Do you know what I mean? And I'm going, what? Fucking what? But I'll tell you, the overlap again, Gary Neville was on talking about how he'll never fucking put the prices up to an exuberant rate. He says, "I want to aim for the best, but see, to be honest, I'd rather get relegated and keep
But
it."
there was a good for anybody who listens to the podcast. Obviously, you're listening to this one, but if you listen to the Celtic Soul More Than 80 Minutes podcast last week, there was the guy was on again from FC
United.
Manchester. Dead interesting. And he says that English football at that level all over England is getting a huge boost. You know, loads and loads of people are going to the local teams, and he ramed off a few. You know, he says, look, attendance is being up across the board. In Ireland, it's exactly the fucking same. Lots of the attendances are all up across the League of Ireland and the Irish League. Like, you look at Cliftonville the other week going to them cup finals, taking thousands upon thousands of people. You know, so there definitely seems to be, while the tourist market is being well catered for at the top, I think it could end up having a very beneficial effect on grassroots football. And they're going to see a bump on it, you know. So it's
what's kind of your pocket at this stage. I mean,
it's the club that you love. You're not getting the chance to go and watch them, and
But that's already been the case for loads of people for a long time. So if you take about, me and Scott got lifted. Me and Scott got arrested fucking 20 years ago. And we were sitting in a cell with a wee guy called Eddie. And he fucking was saying, I'm a Celtic man. And he says, "You're not going." He says, "I can't afford to go anymore." Yeah. He says, "I used to go every week." And he just went, "I can't go now." And that was in the early 2000s. You know what I mean? So for some people, it's been beyond them for a long time.
Marty, is see, when we talk about this, and I've heard Jason say it, I've heard, in fact, I've heard you all say it, even Harper and all that. Every time we start talking about stuff, we always go, "I'm lucky enough to afford this." I've heard every one of you say it, and I think we should never stop saying it, but I'm lucky enough that I can still do this, that I can afford this, and this is my decision.
Well, I've said it on here, don't know many times, especially when we're talking about Fergus McCann and the takeover and season books and all of that. My first game, I paid £2 in, and within 8 years, it was £22 in. That was like in the fucking blink of an eye, just a few years. That's how much ticket prices have gone up.
My cup final ticket tomorrow is £50.
Aye, yeah.
50,
Fuck me, do you know what I mean, Jason? It's like and here, ordinary matches are getting that price. Fuck me, do you know, it's like.
Oh, with the booking fee, and that's also £51.
Aye. And the mad thing is,
and hold on, and Dundee United And just in Jason saying that, Dundee United deliberately gouged us and told everybody they
Yeah,
were doing
I was going to come to that. Yeah, I was going to come to the fact and see social media being the absolute fucking parasite that it is. It stopped guys, just the exact same with us, who wear a different coloured scarf, attack us when we say this isn't good enough. I mean, like, see, I saw some comments to the Green Brigade and they were like, well, where's your protest when you charged her 38 quid? And I was like, if you're ever going to dig up any cunt for fucking attacking their own club, the Green Brigade's the last one. Fuck me, you know what I mean? The Green Brigade have been fucking fighting a war with Celtic ever since they fucking started. God bless them. And the tickets are, I feel we're going over old ground a wee bit, but I done a wee podcast last summer and I spoke to away fans and I asked them and they said the ticket prices are rotten, the match experience is rotten, and throw in the fact that they generally get battered at Celtic Park. And Celtic don't give a fuck. Just don't care. Whereas, see if I owned the club, right? If I owned Celtic, same as you, I wouldn't be owning Celtic to make that money. Make the money that keeps the club ticking. Oh, yes, I'm into that. Mm-hmm. But I'd want everybody that comes to Celtic Park. I don't want them enjoying it football-wise. I want them to fucking walk in the door and go, right, that was worth the money. It wasn't the bar. I would have a bar for the away fans alone. As soon as they walk into a bar and they could all have pints and then they go up to their seats. I would have that. I would have a bar ordering it for us.
Of course you fucking would.
And the thing is, the killer for me is we're sitting with 80 million quid or whatever it is, circa 80 million quid in the bank, and the ticket prices all get hyped up this year.
But that's what pisses me off the most, because like at the end of the day, no business in today's world that says a Celtic ever thinks every year, do you know what? See if we break even next year, we might be able to cut off a wee bit for the common man, for the fans.
No, they don't
think like that.
The last thing that comes to
we made more this year.
Joe,
fucking sweet, let's kick it up again.
Do you remember BP? BP had made 2 billion and they made 1.1 billion the next year. So they sacked fucking 300 people.
Aye.
They made
the profits were doing 40%.
No, I mean, this isn't good enough, and they sacked them. And then you've got that fucking parasite down the road in Manchester, that fucking cunt. And I see that, what's that Specky Ride, the Manchester United fan that does his podcast? Do you know who I'm talking about? Gold something? No, I don't know his name. You've definitely watched, sorry Jason, you've definitely watched a clip of him, eh? He sits in the he's one of the guys who live watches the game and you watch him get off his nut. But he went off in one and he says, this club of ours sacked 200 people and nannies offered a fucking lip. He's never moaned. And now the club are thinking about selling Fernandez and you're fucking going off your head. He said, fuck every one of these. You didn't give a fuck about what's that?
No GoFundMe's there. I mean, no GoFundMe.
No, exactly. And
see on that point, Marty made an amazing point last week, right? Marty, I couldn't even.
What?
That's a fucking first.
Oh no, seriously. See
I must have been really drunk.
See when you spoke about Alex Ferguson and the Glazers, right? See when I there's a couple of things out of last week's pod I took away, and obviously one was obviously the song, Joe. You let us hear a couple of things before it and fucking blew me away, right? But anyway, when you mentioned Marty about the Glazers, and obviously I was laughing, saying that, from a legal standpoint, this is not the view of the HomeBhoys with Marty Flynn alone. Right? I digested that, right? And I've said that to maybe about half a dozen folks since last week. And every one of them is blown away by it. Do you know what?
It was pretty common knowledge about him, right, man? Remember, Roy Keane brought it up in his book. He says Alex Ferguson ruined this club over a horse.
Yeah, he fucking did.
I was really surprised, Jason. I was really surprised that you hadn't heard that. To be honest,
I don't know. I just went right on my head.
Higgins is always drunk, for fuck's sake. He's always drunk.
So see we're on a bit, right? So I'll tell you a wee story, right? I'll tell you a wee bit about the goodness and thing last week, right? But anyway, so I get the train down at 20 to 7, right? So we went round, and big shout out to Tony McCabe for Whitburn, absolute fucking loon ball. So we're at the game, right? And he's like, he's standing there. And I says, can't believe you're not going to the last game at Goodison. He's like, no. He's like, she's gave me the go-ahead to go. I don't think she did, by the way. So I'm like, so I just started fucking egging him on. And his son Jamie's like, fucking just go there. So I was egging him on. Next thing, he's fucking came with us, hadn't he? I went to him, got my polo shirt and pants and socks, and he fucking came with us, fucking got on the train. So I booked him a train ticket, and the next thing, so we get a carry out in Sainsbury's across the Central, and just as we walked in, there's 3 Scousers getting served, and I'm like, they were obviously at the Celtic game, and I was like, he's blue or red? They're like, red. I'm like, fuck off, fucking, and they're like, oh, fucking blue shite and all this. So we get the cargo, and we've all met up, all the ones that were going on the train, and we've got on the train. So we started working our way down and try to get seats where, because the train wasn't mobbed, but it was quite busy. And by the way, see the amount of Celtic fans on the train going back down to England? Fucking hell, every carriage was bummed with hymns, songs going and all that. It was absolutely brilliant. So we get down. There's a few Everton fans on it as well, obviously, because I'm out working down at Goodison. But we gets down and we walks by, and it was the 3 of them were sitting there like, all right, Taylor. So next thing, I ended up sitting down next to him. Do you know what? We sat the full journey with him. 3 bad cop-outs. See the 3 of them, right? Ages with a wee bit. One was a wee bit younger than me, I would say, and the other one was roughly my age, and the other one was a wee bit old, maybe about 60. And the boy that was about 60 was a proper Liverpool historian, and the 3 of them were Celtic daft. They'd been going to watch Celtic for years, right? And so I was telling them, how did you get into Everton, blah, blah. He says, I met Scousers in Ibiza. Like, if you'd met us in Ibiza, you'd have been a red. I said, never. They says, you fucking would have you. And, but they were class, right? But a couple of times I was giving it to them big time about them getting us Everton back. I'm saying us getting Everton banned out of Europe for Heysel and all that. And there was a wee bit heated at times, and they were taking the nip a wee bit with us. And like, so, because I fucking hate Liverpool, right? But I don't mind Scousers. And then one of them says, so I says, look, I went to the Hillsborough benefit game, Justice for the 97. Not one of the guys like, my brother died at Hillsborough. You're fucking kidding me on. He says, he says, my young brother, he says, the 2 of us went, and we went with different groups. Jesus. He says, both of us were in the Leppins Lane. He says, I was at the far end, he was at the far end, and he died. Fucking hell, man. You're just like, no, fit behinds, and then you're like, God love you, man. But you know what? We had a great laugh with them on the way down, and we got half of the Lime Street, like blue shite and everything. But they gave us a number, and they're like, just look, anytime you're doing anything you need, and that, we'll come up to Celtic, we'd love to get a pint with you again, and that. And they're like, it's about the city. And then see the guy whose brother died at Hillsborough, he's like, my wife will be there tomorrow, and says she never misses an Everton game, home and away. And it was just like, it's mad how like families are split, but we had a cracking journey down with the 3 lads, man. They were absolutely brilliant and proper football men. You know, one of the guys was an encyclopedia. See any game you mentioned, they could tell you the minute and the goal scorer and everything. But it was just, so we get to Liverpool, we get to a taxi, we were staying in Anfield. So we get to the digs, perhaps the bags off, and there was a boozer around the corner, the Winchester in Anfield. So we was in there for a pint, and it fucking a bit of madness fucking happened there. It was just a fucking nuts weekend, right? But they fucking hammed on. So we ended up back in the digs, and then we all just crashed through. It was a 4-bedroom house. So there was me, Cookie, Kazi, Jerry, and Big Tony. So we get up the next morning, we're all right, we'll head to Goodison early. Yeah. So the game's at 12. We left the digs at 8, and it took us 15 minutes to walk to Goodison. So we get to County Road, and I arranged to meet a few of my mates in the Witherspoons. That was opening at 8. See, when we got to County Road, every boozer was queued out at the door. I swear, see, 8:45, they must have, the council must have gave all the boozers special dispensation to open early. See,
you sent the video, sure, into the fucking our chat. I was like, fuck, that looks great.
You've no idea. 8:45 in the morning, you would have thought it was a Saturday night.
The sun was shining too. Look, brilliant.
It was mental.
But there's a city that appreciates what they've got.
Oh, mate. And do you know what? It was the only one word I could explain it on Sunday was biblical. It was like, you couldn't really put it into words what it was. But here's the thing, I'm getting to the story now, tickets, right? So loads of my mates, the Scousers that I know, all came and met us. So we ended up going to a pal of mine's pub, and it was on County Road, and the salutation, the Sally they call it. So we get in there, Molly's a hint the bar, then everybody comes in. So we're all getting a right good drink, and loads of the boys from North Wales come in, we're all, and next thing my mate Parko comes in, and these are proper Scousers that's been going to watch Everton since they were born, right? And they're in the late 50s, 60s. Didn't have tickets for the game. I've got an Everton season ticket in my pocket for the Upper Gladys Street. So the guy that gave me it comes up to loads of Celtic games and I get him tickets. So he came up to the game last week and he just handed me a ticket and says, that's yours for next week. I tell him, mate, look out for me, but I says, no pressure. I says, I'm not expecting one. I don't really want one because it's like, and he says, no. He says, that's yours. But if I didn't use the ticket, I had to give him it back because I was sitting with his brother-in-law because at the end of the day, he'd another 20 folk for that ticket. So I'm in this boozer and there's 20 Evertonians that I know that I would give that ticket to. I would have raffled it between the 20 of them, but I had to use it. Do you know when I was walking into the game, I was nearly in tears because they were all still in the pub. And see, walking to the game, there was much more Evertonians outside the stadium than was inside the stadium. The Liverpool Echo said, I don't believe this, right? But I would have said there was 50 to 60,000 outside the stadium with 40,000 inside it. The Liverpool Echo said at 11:30, within a mile radius of Goodison, there was 500,000 people. I was like, what? But it was unbelievable. You could not move in any street. There was cunts flying in for Australia and that without tickets. I met my big mate Bez who lives in Thailand, and I met him after the game, thank God, because see, before the game I would have been in tears if I couldn't give him a ticket. And I said, did you get in? And he just went in his pocket and showed me a ticket. He says, I got in. And see, in the stadium, honest to God, man, it was fucking unbelievable. And they played well and they won 2-0. Southampton were pish. But fucking, it was just, after the game, it was just fucking nuts. It was just like, see when the Z cards with the fiddle and all that, oh my God. And then after it, Jerry Vio, he got in at the end. They all tried to storm the gates, but they were stopping them to get in because it was fucking carnage. Jerry got in. Next thing he's on the park, photos with him getting him and Graham Sharp on the park.
Jerry Viola, good man, Jerry.
Hey, there's more stuff I'll tell you once we get off camera. Right? Once this finishes, I'll tell you the rest of the stories. But then we just stayed about County Road, and John McPartland ended up with him and his daughter, and then we walked back to our digs. Must have gotten the digs, I don't know, 10:30, 11. But just one of the best days I've ever had in my life. Like, see that football club is, and do you know what? Every one of them are saying, see if we turn into one of the tourist clubs, we will fucking die. But do you know what, Scott? There was a few Americans there that was their first game. Seen them posting it on social media. No many. Because Everton was like 39,000, it was like 35,000 season tickets.
The thing is, pal, it's going to happen. I mean,
I know.
And the frustrating thing for us, certainly at our age, is that these TikTokers, influencers, and all that, they're now basically your journalists. These are the people that our club. I mean, any young guy ends up at Celtic on the board, which is laughable in itself. Anybody that we've brought in and we're paying them tuppence halfpenny, they're going to be going, right, we need to get in line with all these people. I mean, fuck's sake, they still invite us to things. I mean, it's no great but the day for us, but Trophy Day, we get access to things if we wanted to the players and the manager.
That's
And all
right,
that.
aye.
So
Aye.
that's still, and you look at it, you've seen the guys who kind of ground top, they're all getting access to
I
the
know,
Celtic part
I know,
as well. So
I know.
Celtic are entertaining it, which frustratingly enough, we kind of need today. We need to keep selling Celtic, but because of the Scottish League, will always hold us back from being sold out, in my opinion.
Is that a good or bad thing? Is
I
that a
would
good or
worry
bad
about
thing?
Everton. Sorry, Joe, 2 seconds. I would worry about Everton, Jason. I would
Oh,
really worry about
100%. And my mates having a daft, right?
No, of
They're no
course.
daft. But the thing is, they have sold a large proportion of the season tickets for Bramley Moor. So they are, I mean, there's a 15,000 waiting list, but they'll definitely have held about 10,000 back or whatever for your day trippers.
Yeah.
How
know what
far?
I mean?
How far is that stadium from Goodison?
It's halfway between Goodison and the city centre.
Okay, that's
So if you're in a taxi to Goodison into the city centre, see if you just look at the water, keep looking at the water.
Right.
We're halfway there. If you just done a B1.
Somebody in the Huddleboard had suggested that the Brick's going to be running a bus state. Is that
No,
correct?
they are. You buy the season, but the Winslow and that as well. The big pubs.
Good.
See that, but how long that'll last for? I don't know.
Exactly. As soon as it starts costing you money, that's when it goes into window.
Aye, and see the thing is, like Molly's pub, the Sally and that will just go down to Swanee. You know, like there is Goodison is the only stadium in the world I've been to better for bars is San Mamés. San Mamés has got hundreds within a good vicinity of the stadium. Goodison must have 40 or 50 pubs within. You could kick a football 4 times and you could hit about maybe 30 pubs. You know, it's like there's just pubs everywhere.
It's almost like an industry has been taken out of the area.
Aye, and it's no a.
So what's going to happen to the Everton Community Centre then? Are they going to start a new one up by Bramley Moor?
Well, they're talking about the women are going to play at Goodison, but that'll not last. I mean, half of the stadium's going to get condemned. Because seemingly Morstry had said to the fans forum and that we'll only get a safety certificate for this stadium for another 3 or 4 years. So they had to build a new stadium. You know. And I took the photo when I was doing a couple of weeks ago at that Ipswich game. No, fucking couldn't see one of the goals for a big pole. You know, and James McFadden was on. I listened to that open goal.
Fucking foreigners right in front of you, mate.
Farmers.
The big ball.
Fucking big daddies.
Bob the pole. That's what they called him. That the boy that played him, Robert Versteker. You know, the Evertonians called him Bob the Pole. But aye, just honestly, what and see Kazi, talk to Jerry and Kazi the day at the funeral. I said, what was that like? Fucking unbelievable. Just like
good, mate. Good.
Proper.
Good.
I'm very glad I got the experience. Like I said here last week, I'm very glad I got the experience to go there twice.
Proper football experience.
It's my first time ever being at a kind of football ground where, like, again, the houses were across the street from the actual ground. I was like, that's a weird life to live in. Like, not weird to me at that moment, going like, that's fucking class to walk out your front door and go, where did the game? Bing.
And I'll give you a laugh, right? They left touch of class, by the way. They left a scarf, like a proper woolen scarf, on every seat in the stadium. So in your scarf was there, and it was Goodison Park.
I was wondering why they all had the same scarf.
Aye, so that was it, and it was obviously the time scale long Goodison's been up for, and a beautiful scarf, right, well made, and everything. So everybody, so I tied it in my waist. I'm no one for wearing scarves, so I tied it in my waist, and after the game, I headed back to the walk. So I met Bez and all that. We're standing there, and because I didn't stay for the full thing on the park. It was lasting for like a couple of hours after the game. I stayed for 40, 50 minutes or whatever, and then felt a bit of a fraud, right? I felt terrible being in the game, right?
Yeah.
And grown men run about me everywhere, howling their eyes out and everything. It was fucking emotional as fuck, right?
Imagine that club won, son.
Oh, that's what everybody says. Imagine we were any fucking good. Fucking hell. And so I went into the walk. We're all standing in a bevy, and then everybody started coming in. and there was a squad right in front of the telly, and this lassie, she had her Everton tap on with her son, and he had the full kit on, and he's up.
She like half a player.
And he's I know, and he's the wee guys praying at the telly and all that, right? And I was like, fuck's sake, man. So talking away to her, I said, did you get a ticket? She's like, no. She's, my dad was in and my brothers. She says, but no, we couldn't get in, and my son couldn't get a ticket and all that. I was like, I fucking took the scarf off. I'm like, here we man. I says, there you go. That's one of the scarves, one of the 40,000 scarves. For. She's like, oh, thank you so much.
Well done, man.
Somebody says on eBay, they're going for £100 now. Fucking cunts are punting for £100. But then one of my pals says they're selling the Everton show for £20. But anyway, I gave the wee man my scarf. I says, there you go. You take that. And he was so happy. He was cuddling me and all that. But just brilliant fit buddy, and just proper fans. Just fucking
anyway, right, let's get back to the fucking.
Right, so Scott's got the fear. Scott's got the fear.
Oh, mate, I'll always have a fear. I'll always. No matter what we're fucking doing, I'll have the fear. I think the only time I didn't have the fear was that Inverness game. When was that? Under Ange's last game. I think that was the fucking last time I didn't have the fear. But so as I've always explained, I live myself in pessimism so that I'm surprised and delighted rather than fucking let down.
So joy is a gift there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, logic says Celtic go and battle them. Celtic are a better team, or they've got a better manager. And I actually think I said to you last time I was on, maybe. No, I didn't. See when we beat Aberdeen, Jason's pal Chris Boyd went off in a big rant about, about your man, the Aberdeen manager, and I didn't disagree with any. I mean, I wish I'd done a pod with an Aberdeen fan this week, but my work's been a wank, and that's probably led to me my fucking head fried and all. But I'll be really interested to speak, no matter what the result happens tomorrow, I'll be really interested to speak to an Aberdeen fan next season, because I didn't really buy it when it happened, when they went to 13 games unbeaten. I didn't really buy it then, because see, when I watched them, because obviously I was still doing my one-on-ones, and I'm watching all their games, and I'm going, they probably didn't deserve to win that, probably did. And even, remember the 2-2 game, we gave them hundreds of credit. The game lasted another 5 minutes, Celtic won that 3-2. We should never even have got to 2-2. But they deserve credit because they went and done it. Yeah. But the fall was equally as spectacular. And the fact that this team shat the bed when they had it in their hands to get to third. So, logic says Celtic rip them apart. When the James Forrest thing is off the shooters, pardon the pun, because see the James Forrest thing, know that it was fucking hanging on the orders, but there was an almost get a pass the ball down here. See now, everybody. There's no James Forrest tax on it. There's nothing. All we've got to do is, let's go and win this fucking trophy, man. Let's just go and fucking do this. Fuck everything else. And then we can have a good summer. But
with the ink, Scott, see the team. Let's go through the team, right?
Okay.
So do
you want me to go through the whole team, or will we all go through position?
Well, what we can do is, do you see straight off the bat, do you think the team will be the same team that started on Saturday?
I would hope not.
Because I think Forrest will be in it, but I don't think. So let's go through the team. So Schmeichel's definitely going to start in goals. So obviously we've not even mentioned Greg Taylor yet, but so we reckon it'll be Taylor, Scales, Carter Vickers, and Alistair Johnson.
Yep.
I think so. A certainty.
Yeah.
What about you, Scott?
Yeah, 100%.
Aye.
Right, and we'll come back. Obviously, we're going to talk about Taylor, but it's mad, and I was certainly one of them. I thought Schlupp had took that jersey for the rest of it. What a height he hit, and
in the Champions League.
Yeah. I mean, see against Bayern Munich. Wow,
Brilliant.
absolutely wow.
It was a short period, but he was dynamite. Like,
and the irony being, do you remember? Actually, I think we all sat and we spoke about how maybe we missed Greg Taylor in the defeat at Parkhead. We kind of missed his how he played in that.
Aye.
And Liam Scales, another guy who will never win over the
A good proportion of our
a
fans.
good proportion. We've got to say majority. A good size minority. No matter what he does, he'll never win them over.
you know.
He'll
He'll always have that League of Ireland sort of stank on him that people will fucking throw out.
Yeah, I mean, Marty spoke about it last week on the pod. The fantastic Tino from the Celtic Exchange, even he kind of, it's only League of Ireland, and you're kind of going, well, how many League of Ireland games have you watched, Tino? Do you know what I mean? How many actually?
See the other side of that when you talk about the League of Ireland. Johnny Kenny gets a lot of favour for the fans. The fans kind of love him.
Well,
Right,
sorry,
we'll come to him. But,
let me just point of order, Scott. It actually wasn't Tino. It was his guest. It was the guy who he had on. But Jason, that was the point. The point was about Johnny Kenny, and he was saying, "Who the fuck's Johnny Kenny? Like, why would we be pinning our hopes on this guy? He was playing in a shate league, blah blah blah." And
by the way, that guy was from Motherwell. Aye, he's from Motherwell. It makes sense. Miserable bastard.
I'd agree with you.
Off my favourite, mate.
So that's us get the defence sorted, right? So we're on agreement. So now we get to the midfield where there could be so.
There's one question.
I have a radical one. So
okay, so your midfield on Saturday was Engels, McGregor, and Paolo Bernardo.
Yes,
I don't think he'd start Bernardo.
Right.
I don't think so either.
I think he'd start McCann.
You think Luke McCowan?
Yeah,
I think so.
Me too.
It's no an outlandish shout.
Is it fine margins though? Because Bernardo hasn't really put that much of a foot wrong. Like
he'd done nothing last week.
That's exactly nobody really.
I think that's what Rodgers' problem was with Bernardo. He doesn't think he works hard enough. He's not that type of player who.
Yeah.
Like he's a real decent player. You can see he doesn't waste the ball. He's very tidy, but he doesn't stand out. Whereas McCann comes on, looks busy, bombing about, and respects that work ethic.
There is that difference. There's that marginal difference. Like McCann's fucking head. Like even when he came on Saturday, like he was busy. He said Marty, his head was screwed on, his passing, his head was up. I mean, his pass towards Johnson was fucking like he could have like. You think Bernardo at that point maybe takes a touch, looks around. McCann was straight away going, no, get it sideways, get it over.
Aye. So it's a good shout, and I would tend to agree with you, but I'm at 60-40. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be unhappy with that. So,
see that. Sorry, I'm 2 seconds till I double check this.
Is Engels a certainty to start?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
I think so. So McGregor, that's what I'm saying. McGregor and Engels, I think, are sound. I think the debate will be will Bernardo or McCann start, and my gut feeling is it'll be McCann.
Okay.
But
and the thing is,
2 seconds before you move on. 2 seconds.
No, I'm not moving on.
I'm double checking this here.
I'm talking about Engels, and it was interesting. Engels, I know we've not discussed Taylor yet, but Engels, there's a couple of teams in Italy, Atalanta and whatever, and he came out publicly and said he's more than happy at Celtic.
Thank fuck! I just got his name printed on a jersey. Fuck me, fucking.
I like to hear that when players say that. Maybe it's just lip service,
100%, mate.
But it's good to hear. It's good to hear they're kind of committed to the cause.
Fill again, Jason. Fill again, just to I finalise, just to make sure what I'm doing here.
So when that came out, you know, about the interest for Atalanta, and obviously going to play in Serie A, and the guys from Belgium, he's no Celtic orientated and whatever, but he must be fucking loving it. You know, the season that we've had, and he hasn't been. He started off at a train, then he kind of plateaued out a bit, then he came good again, and like he's not been amazing, but I can really see a player there. And we spoke about it in the chat during the week. I think you mentioned it, Marty. He said, would you stick or twist? And I said, I would definitely stick. But I say, if the bid comes in and it's 15 to 20 million, we kind of know Celtic's business model and what's going to happen. But
I don't think he's there at this point, though. I don't think
Right.
he's anywhere near at this point.
I've got my point. I've got my point to come back. So sorry, I've got an interesting thing what you've got to say about Engels as well. I want to say, however, Bernardo over McCowan, right? I don't think Bernardo's showed better off the bench than he has started for Celtic. Luke McCowan was not in the team for the cup final. He wasn't even the bench for the League Cup final.
Right.
And Luke McCowan has just won a league. And Luke McCowan wants this. And he's got that. Bernardo's got he's won every trophy in Scotland as it sits. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Luke McCowan's got that hunger. Marty called him busy. Busy's excellent wordage for it, I think. I think Luke McCowan's a guy. And in actual fact, boom, I'm flinging it right here to you. First goal, Luke McCowan.
Okay, his deck's on the table. His deck is on the table.
On the table. You can't see it because of the wee coffee cup, but it's the wee espresso cup.
See, we being the worst stato in the world and not having a clue about stats, I would say Luke McCowan's goals to games ratio compared to Bernardo's would be half the scale.
Well, you can just leave that with me and I'll find you out.
That's exactly why I said
To come back to Engels, yes, Jason, loved it. I fucking loved it. Don't know how much truth was in any of it. Was it one of the Celtics in a cup final? We want to fuck our heads. We might just make this up. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. And I dare say, should they come in with a bid over 20 for Engels, then everything's up in the fucking air. But the fact he's come out and went, nah, he's got to know through his time in football that he's been coached by a good manager who put his trust in him, and it's almost his success matters for the manager. And we all know what an ego Brendan Rodgers has got. So it all works for Engels, because Engels can't be a failure under Rodgers. So Rodgers will push him and do his best for him and look after him and make sure he's the best version of himself. And Engels is shooting for the stars. Don't give a fuck what any cunt says. I've got fucking a bookmark of some Kilmarnock fan slaughtering their two signings, and I'm going, they two are going to fucking kill this league.
One day. Who would you equate Engels to? Because there's part of me sees a wee bit of like the emergence in a way of like a Michael Ballack type.
Wow, Joe! Wow, what a.
By the way, Joe. See when you said that there, that isn't a bad shout. But I know what you mean. See, like the stature and the way he kind of.
What do you call him? What do you call him? Play for Spurs and then ended up with Man United.
Carrick. Michael Carrick. Just a guy who doesn't get flustered. You don't see him get involved in all the snash. You just see him fucking just playing his game, and all the people around him all appreciate him more than the people in the stands or the people watching him. Like they go, fuck, see this guy. But as I said to you, I don't really know if we know what Engels' best position is.
I don't think we do. I see at the start, see his first 2-3 games, I'm like, this guy's an absolute fucking Rolls Royce. How did he come to us? You know, I just said to myself,
cool as ice.
He was unbelievable. And then he just kind of plateaued a bit, and he didn't really kick on, and he kind of definitely dipped for the first 3 games. But there is 100% a player there. And as I say, Brendan Rodgers, and obviously he's a young guy. He's not going to be with us for his career, right?
No.
But he knows if he stays here another year or 2, he's going to make his mark. He's going to be, if he keeps playing at a real good standard, he'll be in the team every week. And he's probably going to get Champions League next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood. But if he doesn't, he would be playing Europa League football. And he's putting himself in the shop window again. And I think, definitely I think we'll have him next year, unless, as I say, massive money comes in. But I think his trajectory is only going one way. And he's going to be, I think I don't know if he'll be a fucking, like one of the top players, but he'll definitely be a proper good midfielder in European terms.
You summarise it brilliant. He's 22 this September, so we've got a 21-year-old guy. And I'll tell you, it was Paul John Dyke, on Axum, and it was he mentioned it, and I was like, fuck me, that's a great point. And he's two full seasons of top league football before we got him. He played 31 and 33 games. See, this season, tomorrow's got to be his 54th game.
Well, just as you're saying that, I said this, there's a mate of mine, hates Engels, fucking giving the dog abuse. And just as I was speaking
Why
to
is
him,
even your mate, Marty?
listen, I suffer for friends. So
is John doing all right though?
Not that miserable. I wouldn't even bother fucking debating with him. But just as I was talking to him, about an hour later, I flicked on my fucking phone and a thing popped up about Engels. So this was on the 9th of May. Arne Engels, the Scottish Premier midfield ranking. Goals, he's first. Touches in the opposition box, he's first. Shots attempted, he's second. Chances created, he's second. Successful passes, he's 9th. So anywhere in and around the box seems to be his place.
Yeah.
Like we're just saying there that we're not really aware of what his best position is, but you can fucking see from there where he wants to be. Plus he takes penalties as well, so
that's a good point as well.
So there you are. That's my killer contribution of the night. Stevie, if you're listening, I fucking told you he's great, you fucking goat.
You goat.
Right, so that's us kind of, well, I think we're all going McCowan, but I'm not too sure. I think Bernardo might start, but I'm happy to go with McCowan. So now we've got up front, and we've got, I think up front.
Dizan.
We've got Dies and Maida, right, is to me definitely starting. 100%.
With a choice of four.
Where's
hold on. With a choice
With a choice of Kuhn, Ida, Maida, and Jamesy Forrest.
And Forrest, exactly. So that's who you're choosing from.
So you could relatively say you could have Kuhn, Forrest, and Ida. Sorry, Kuhn, Forrest, Maida. And you could drop Ida. Right.
If you wanted, I wouldn't be having Kuhn.
But you could have Kuhn, Ida, and Maida, or you could have Forrest.
Yeah, something about Maida through the middle makes me think, fucking, let's just go.
Forrest, Ida, and Maida. So I don't know. I could see. I don't know. I could actually see Kuhn, Ida, and Maida. I think that would be I think that's what Brendan Rodgers would go with.
See,
and bring James after them.
See when you say Forrest, Ida, and Maida, I immediately think that Forrest and Maida can switch no problem. And Ida's also got the ability to come wide. That can go in the middle. Forrest can go in the middle. He's done it before, right? You've got a really
Forrest can go in the middle. What are you talking about, Joe?
As in, like, up front. He's done it before. He's done it for
Jamesy Forrest isn't playing centre forward.
I know. What I mean is like they can move during the fucking game.
During the game, right.
You know what I mean? As in, like, they can kind of dovetail around each other. I mean, I don't see Kuhn being that effective.
But I think Kuhn's been coming on again. I think Kuhn's starting to play really well again. So
I disagree.
Like Kuhn because he fucking planked him.
No, it's not. It's not. Maybe it is.
I mean, back on to fucking autographs and stuff like that. Fuck's sake, man. I never queued up and got an autograph in my life.
And you're not a fucking 9-year-old child. That's why.
Well, I was at one point.
Right,
You get Morris Johnson.
What's that?
You don't get Morris Johnson's ones.
No, he get mine.
Ah,
I want it for him.
My point is, I've got nothing against Kuhn as a player, obviously, right? I just think
as a person, though, you hate him. Racist.
Not as much as I hate you at this moment, right? But my point is, there's a lot of play goes down his side repeatedly that doesn't necessarily come to much. And it's almost like in the hope that it comes to something, and it doesn't really come to something. And I always find that when he's not there.
How did Andy get back in the pod?
So,
Fucking hell, man.
Joe, you go back to the first half of this season.
I mean lately. I don't mean fuck. I mean lately.
Well, that's what he says.
Well, that's what I'm saying now.
Nah.
By the way, Nicholas Kuhn for the first half of this season was the Scottish Player of the Year without a fucking shadow of a doubt.
But he looks like a grumpy cunt at the minute.
Aye, but that's old news.
Oh, it's old news, right?
Like the cup final is tomorrow. It's not start of the season.
Rio Hatate wouldn't get a game with Birmingham City during this podcast during this season.
Well, we did discuss that last week, and we generally agreed he doesn't like playing during the winter. I think you'll find.
Right.
I'm just saying my choice would be James Forrest over Nicholas Kuhn.
Right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So
we don't need to delve into my personal relationship with Nicholas.
Right. So we've got Joe's front three is Forrest, Ida, and Maida.
Yes.
Right, Marty. What's your front three? And by the way, I'm not saying who you want to see. I'm asking the question: who do you think Brendan will play?
Yes, I think Maida, Ida, and Kuhn will start. I think Forrest will be on at some point, but that'll be a start front three.
I would 100% agree with that. What about you, Scott?
I'm exactly with the specky face one as well.
I think it's cruel not to start James Forrest. I think it's a fucking
Joe.
Big ball-headed Joe is right.
Joe,
but Joe, if you think about it this way, right, Joe? You've been battering Aberdeen for fucking however long, and then James Forrest comes on off the bench, and Shinny's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." Now I have to deal with this cunt. No minute.
And by the way, you make a good point there, Marty. See if you see the team sheet and Shinny starting, if they give out their team sheet before ours, you put James Forrest on.
Well, he did.
That was a shellacking.
He murdered him the other week. Like,
that was an absolute shellacking.
He did.
But Joe, I think you're letting your heart rule your head.
100%.
But you're saying what you want to happen, but in realistic.
Yeah, no, he is going to play Kuhn.
I would think so. And I think it's well merited. You know,
I think Kuhn deserves a wee bit more. See what J-Bo's saying? I think Kuhn deserves a wee bit more respect putting his name for this season. I think, once this season, like, when we sit down and we review the season, I think there will be a kind of load of points will go for fucks.
Aye, exactly. See,
you know what? It might be my sense of expectation from the guy after like his first half of the season. That's what it is. Right?
Joe, I ended up in the fucking the Player of the Year and I ended up in with the players, and the cunt wouldn't get off his fucking seat to fucking, and I still sat down and got a photo beside him. Fuck him.
See, again, you're bolstering my position on.
Was that a good night, Scott?
Who knows, mate? I think it might have been.
Aye, that's a good.
It might have been a good night, mate.
Are you sure you were standing up or sitting down with fucking Nicholas Kuhn?
I think Nicholas Kuhn.
Are you sure it was Nicholas Kuhn?
He maybe got a photo beside me on the flare.
Did you have the penguin, Scott? Did you have the penguin suit on?
I did indeed. I'm not saying the photos. I'm saying some photos.
Send them it.
You took photos?
So basically, right, I walked in.
Black tie dinners of Celtic players.
I wish they gone. I've never been interested in going these, and I would see what you said about autographs. I'm not interested in autographs. There'll be mad exceptions out there, right? There'll be mad exceptions. Lubo, for example, I would I would go and get Lubo's autograph or a photo because it's Lubo. Know that I want these things, but just so I can interact with Lubo.
Yeah.
Same as Henrik.
Fucking
These
interact
guys,
with him,
I
for
mean,
fuck's sake. We kidnapped him one night in the number 7.
who?
Lubo.
No, that's a different story again, man.
He was fucking
But-
dragged on our table.
Yeah, we got a photo together. Exactly. You know what I mean, I like see Lupo right on it. I could go off in a huge tangent. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So so I went. I was invited to the do. A table had been booked, and there was a space. Do you want to go? And I was like, oh. And it turns out the drink had been piped, so it was a free night. Know what I mean? And I was like, right, I'll go. It was after Ibrox. Fuck me. And I'm fucking rattling a half bottle at the game at Ibrox. Know what I mean? And I've went, and a big pal of mine, who I think he's all know, big pal of mine says, do you want to come in to play a bit? And I was like, what? And he's like, do you want to come in to play a bit? And I'm like, aye, all right. So I've wangled this free fucking, and then I'm in the player bit, and I hate annoying cunts for like 40s and stuff. I honestly, it just makes me. However, the guy who brought me in didn't have the same affliction. So basically, I got 40 with fucking practically every cunt. I'm in all these 40s, and there's me, and obviously I've had a couple of drinks in you, so you're fucking grabbing holding them now. So I've got 40s with him. The only one I missed out was Brodge. I missed fucking Rogers, but it was a great night. Know what I mean, it's a freebie, innit? Fuck's sake.
Yes, exactly.
See a quick one. I've just opened that email about supporters information tomorrow, Scott. Just before you come on the pod, we were talking about it. So if I go for a pint, so we are planning getting the train to Mount Florida, but it says on supporters information got off at Kings Park only for Celtic supporters.
Aye, Kings Park would lead you to the Celtic end.
No, I get that. But do you think the barriers will be up? See me play the rock.
I heard you saying, right, I've never seen the barriers, but I don't think so, mate.
I don't think so either. But
And
they
then he's
might
a
be
red moon that way.
because I always go to that snooker club before the game, you know, and get a few pints. And
Aye.
because fans are, it's mixed, right? And I was planning to meet a couple of folk in there, and even if the barriers are up, we'll just take a right when we come out and just walk out the long way.
Exactly. I mean, it's no.
It's not
I mean,
hassle.
they cunts, as we spoke before, Jason, they cunts are fucking scum rat fucks. A load of them. But in general, football fans are sound, aren't they?
Aye.
In general.
I'm going to be early, do you know, no colour zone or whatever, so it's not going to matter.
Aye, but you're an international celebrity, they might fucking recognise you.
But so
it's just. Oh, so sorry, where do we get to? Nicholas Coon's brilliant and Joe's in Egypt.
Aye.
That's it.
Aye.
We should sing a song with that, Joe. You've got your guitar.
Well, the James Forrest song is right in my head. Jamesy, yeah, Jamesy Forrest.
You're hanging all the fucking years. All the years we've went by and we couldn't have done that. Fucking.
I know, how bad is that?
It took a genius.
But the James Forrest thing, there is a bit of revisionism in terms of the support for James Forrest, right?
Definitely.
I think there is guys like I've liked James Forrest, but see if James Forrest left, Marty, again, and I apologise to the chat room. I know you've heard it. I'll tell the same story. Me, Marty, and a good few of your troops were on an email list before fucking WhatsApp and all that push, and we were talking the end of Ronnie Dyer's season, the one the Huns beat us in the cup, and we'd won. Did we win the double that year? No, we won the league, yeah. Anyway, end of Ronnie Dyer before Rogers turned up, and we listed out the players, and I think there was four players from that whole squad that we were like keep, and James Forrest was the only. Marty, that would be right, wouldn't he?
Because that's when he was about to leave.
No, he was about to leave, wasn't he? He just...
Yeah, you could tell he had kind of given up. You know what I mean? His attitude wasn't great. Not you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was just a bit
100%, mate.
He obviously, again, going back to Joe's question today, I thought that was a fascinating question because he has worked with all those different managers with all different things, and him and Dale just were not working, you know.
Well, that
They
do you know
fucking
what?
weren't.
That was the manager I was thinking of when I was asking the question.
But Ronnie Dyer failed in a whole plethora of ways. That
But
second
here's the thing too. Rogers was asked at the press conference yesterday about celebrating and all that stuff. Then he was asked about the close season. He gave a very, very interesting answer, right? And he said something along the lines of basically they were saying, "Oh, you're going off on holiday and you're going to throw your phone into the corner until you come home."
That's right, yep.
And what he said was, "Well, yes and no." He says, "Look, I am experienced enough now to know that football's a 24-hour game, but I'm also experienced enough now to know when I need to be in contact with people and when I don't." He says, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been like that. And I think that was what Ronnie Daly's problem was. He just was not an experienced enough manager
Experienced manager.
of big clubs to take us on. It was a fucking daft decision. Do you know what I mean?
Marty, it's what you just said there could lead us into a conversation when we've been on this podcast for another 2 years, because I think I've overthought football management, and I'll give you just the short. And I mean, it would be a great topic to talk about if we ever do one during the summer. But I started running a football team, an adult football team, when I was fat and lazy, and I like coaching, so I took on the team, and I thought the guys on the pitch are better than me, so I don't need to really coach them. I just need to kind of get them up for games. And that's what I've done. And because of their talent, we got to our level. The older me, who's now super confident in terms of tactics, in terms of how I should address people, how I should look at games and all that, would not be as lenient with them how I was then. And that's exactly what that's experience. That's absolute experience. I'm now at the point where I kind of go, no, you listen to me or you get the fuck. Know what I mean? And that's no just amateur fit. That's everywhere in life, innit? We're all of an age. We're all confident with the day. We're confident in ourselves. Ronnie Dyer thing. I mean, you've got to put respect on his name. He delivered these 2 leagues. Delivered those 2 leagues without 9 in a row. And he gets, however, even he said at the end, didn't he? He says, yeah, I'm not really ready for this club. And we went and got class. Right? We went and got class with Brendan Rodgers. Obviously, circumstances worked ways with what happened at Liverpool. The fact he's a Tim, it's all worked well. And this thing is actually leading me on a tangent to my next question. And then, but you saw the fall off when we go Neil Lennon. And Neil Lennon is almost somebody who hasn't. What's the best way to describe this?
Developed.
Is developed the right word, Marty?
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
When he came back, everybody was thinking, well, it's the kind of a safe pair of hands, and he's been here before, so therefore you would have expected him to be more effective as a manager the second time around. It just didn't work out. He didn't really. I don't think he developed. He was managing teams like Hibs, and you know, I'm not.
That's my point. He kind of never.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm not for 1 second running them down. I couldn't fucking manage Hibs. But the point being is, he didn't move up to a higher level of football. You know, he was at Bolton. He was knocking about the lower leagues with Bolton and things like that. You know,
I think Scott's point basically is Brendan Rodgers done it in the top tier of football with Liverpool and was a ball hair off winning.
Yeah.
And Jason, see, and even away from Liverpool, when he went to fucking Leicester, he had them in the top 5 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
He had them in Europe, and they won them silverware.
Can I just say, I think the difference there is that Neil Lennon's managerial approach is based on his actual personality, right? Whereas Brendan Rodgers knows how to cultivate an environment for players that he's dealing with to grow.
it's fair, right? And I never ever want to get to a stage here, and I would believe that you three gentlemen would agree with me. We never want to get to a point where we're denigrating Neil Lennon, because that's not
Not at
really
all.
what we're
No,
I made the point, right? I didn't need you to jump in because I know you's on me, and I hope anybody that listens knows we know. However, Celtic are the pinnacle of Neil Lennon's managerial career. And Neil Lennon done it the first time in such a way, and it worked, that almost he came back, and he maybe I'm being totally unfair, because we've got to remember that Neil Lennon came back and won as a treble after it.
Yes.
Know what I mean? But everybody seems to forget that. See that season we won a treble under Neil Lennon? That seems to get wiped under the floor when Neil Lennon wrecked the club. But the fact of the matter is, Brendan Rodgers took us to a level and a degree and a standard, and Neil Lennon's management maybe doesn't lead to that. I could be wrong, because
what I would say in my head, right? Neil Lennon, I'm not saying he's a one-trick pony, but I'm not saying he's a one-trick pony. You know what I mean?
So what are you saying then, Jason?
He's got a way management, and that's his way, and it works with certain types of players, but it won't work with other types of players.
Yes.
Brendan Rodgers is a clever cookie, and he'll realise how to get the best out of different types of players. And I don't think, well, I know for a fact, people that are players that are in the B team and whatever, Rodgers will keep checking them and whatever, but he won't be one-to-one with them at all. But with his main players, he'll be all over them, and he'll know everything about what they're all about, and he'll study them, and you know he spends half his life, you know, studying fucking human nature and stuff like that.
Well, I think if I had to equate what Rodgers is capable of doing with players and what someone like Martin O'Neill is capable of doing with players, it's the ability to kind of unlock and fuse confidence and ability. Because look at the players that kind of were subpar, like Tom Rosick being one, right? That when Rodgers came in, suddenly just took a massive jump, right?
But see the Martin O'Neill analogy.
Martin O'Neill did the Bobby Petta.
But Martin O'Neill was a man manager. John Robertson did all the coaching.
I know. That's what I mean. Just I mean, like that man management, that ability to,
but I think
to get into a player's head, get personal, and go like, you could do this, and then make it happen. Do you think Rodgers' coaching does that, or his man management?
I think it's a combination of both. But what I would say is, in my head, right, I think Martin O'Neill was a top level football player. Won European Cup, played in he was in the squad for another European Cup final. Martin O'Neill done everything in the game. Won the English First Division. You know, he was like top level football player. And I think he was a great motivator of men. But I don't think he was a great coach. I don't think he'd be a great tactician. I think he would be, because I always think, see players that have played at the highest level, and I know there's people out there. You've got your Johan Cruyffs, you've got your Zidanes and that have done things with the top teams and whatever. But I always think the best coaches and the best managers of football clubs are people that played the game at a good level, but never kind of made it to the top. But they were mere students of the game.
Yeah, I get the feeling their selection and players maybe a bit more student.
And you use the example of Roy Keane. I've used that loads of times. Couldn't have managed worth a fuck. Done all right with Sunderland, but he would expect too much for guys, because he knows he could do stuff and he'd want them to do the same.
But also,
but do you know what I think? Sorry, just to interject 2 seconds, Joe. I actually think Roy Keane would be a good manager now.
Possibly, but you see, whenever you heard the stories coming out after he fucking left, like putting players up against doors by the throats and stuff like that.
I think he'd be a good manager now, again, from learning. I honestly think it would be I mean,
I don't think so, Scott. I think it's in his DNA that
right, fair dues, Jabo, but I'm
end up
hearing.
losing the rag.
I watched that. Oh, aye. Maybe his nature, just his general nature. But I watch Open Goal, and he's very concise. He goes, "Well, I done this, and I lost the dressing room because I done that, and that never worked for me. I done this, and it never worked for me here." I think there's a certain element that would appreciate what he does. Do you know what I mean? It will not work everywhere.
I think he's a guy that could be a tool in a dressing room, as in like you can use him in a certain way. I don't think he should be in charge of anybody.
But anyway, fuck Roy Keane. We're not talking about Roy Keane. We're talking about your guys.
Aye. So I think Brendan Rodgers is a master student of the game, and I think he is unbelievable.
Well, here, do you know, right? Do you know? I think the Brendan Rodgers we've got now is better than the guy we had before.
Oh, 100%.
I think
we have won a fucking lottery.
So here's the point I was thinking there, Scott, when you were talking about this, right? See, this season we've had, it's one of the best seasons in our Celtic supporting life, without a doubt, right? But see if we didn't have, and I know we didn't go great guns in Europe, but we did well in Europe against top class opposition. See if we didn't have that. Say we'd went out in a whimper and we'd get 3 points in the Champions League, but we'd achieved all this. Do you think we would be talking the way we are now? I don't think so.
No, Europe's huge because he himself brought up Europe. I think me and
Liam. As he
come
back, he said it.
Yeah, me and Liam would be. I think that's fair to say here. You might disagree. Me and Liam are the most critical of the club in terms of Europe.
But I would be with you now.
Right. So in this season, I think the draw we got was fantastic, and it suited us. What is great about the draw we had this year, in all elements, even after, because we were unlucky to get fucking Bayern Munich or Real Madrid when we came out. Now, I mean, that's unlucky because look at some of the other teams that fucking got through. But I thought it was good for us because we went, we proved. Now, we've got this fucking nail biter of a playoff. Playoffs can go wrong at any stage. Celtic have proved it numerous times. But see if this club's got what Arne Engels thinks we've got, what Brendan Rodgers thinks we've got, and we'll see if Maida Kun, CCV stick about, or maybe they fucking shoot a craw. But guys like Schmeichel, see if this team's as good as they think it is. For different, I'm listening. We get through this qualifiers, and no matter what we get, we might get a stinker, and then we've no chance. But see, even if we get a hard draw, the aim for Celtic at this point, European-wise, whilst for us, for the club, is to get as far as it possible. See, for us, we know we're not going to win this cup. We know, and we know that we don't get any fucking dividends when Celtic get a fucking point and all that. We know that Celtic 80 million turn into 130 million but what us four sitting here in Longers and Harper and whoever else is on this pod and all you boys that are listening, what we want off of Celtic is pride. We want cunts to be fair to us, and we want fucking teams to come and fear us and treat us with respect. That's what we want for Celtic.
And I think with the performances this year, I think we will have that.
Jason, this coming year is the big one. You can have a year where you fucking do all right. See if you go and do it again. That's when you're kind of going. That's when every cunt starts going, oh, do you know what? They're the real fucking deal.
Do you know what? See, this year, to me, the next year coming up, right? I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm not asked about the treble, but to win the league and you get one of the cups, right? But see if we were to get to the last 8 of the Champions League, that would be monumental for me. And I think it's possible with the way we played this year. and things need to go favourably, but you got to remember, we drew Bayern Munich, who had a good chance of winning that, and obviously they fell short, right? But we get put out in the last minute in a two-legged affair with Bayern Munich, and we were the better team in Munich. We were the fucking better team without a shadow of a doubt.
Never let any jobbies downgrade what we've done this year, and they'll try, and you'll get a whole load of Celtic fans who'll fucking believe it. We had to go and beat who we had to beat. We had to fucking the frustrating thing about the Aston Villa game was the injuries that happened, because we in European games we can't carry the injuries that an Aston Villa, a Bayern Munich can. Fact.
So many times over the past few years, CCV's been missing for our key games, and he's the most vital part of the team, really. See, when you're playing in Europe, you can go on about your Maedas and your guys up front, whatever. Yeah. But see, we don't have CCV at the back, and we rely on him so heavily. So that's been a fucking ball ache for us over the past few years. But
I know we're supposed to be cup final and our heads here, but I really look forward to when we sit down and break down this season, because it has been a fucking magic season.
It's been one and
we could make it fucking monumental tomorrow.
I mean, we haven't even really discussed like travel, like how rare it should be. Do you know what I mean? The first fucking 2 and a bit decades of my life, I never fucking seen one, and now they're just rocking up because of the way.
Man, fuck's sake, if you've never had steak till you're fucking 31 and you had steak for fucking 6 years, you start going, steak's no fucking.
Do you know what I mean?
So let's be honest with you. The players have repeatedly told us how hard it is to do this. So we as chumps who can't fucking keep the ball up 10 times should never be denigrating them, even though it will be. And the great thing is, everybody I know, yourself, Marty, Flynn, Joe, Jason, fucking Liam, we'll celebrate tomorrow if we win. It won't be a case of yawn, I'm away in my bed. We'll fucking celebrate the fucker. We'll celebrate as much as fucking Tottenham done with it. And see if they allowed us to do a fucking trophy tour in the town, we'd all be fucking gallivanting behind the fucker as well. So we'll celebrate it. But let's not kid ourselves on. Exactly what you says. Marty, before I knew you, we first met, Celtic had never done a treble
in our lifetime.
Aye.
Never.
Aye. So me and Ellie, we take it off about 6:30. Most mornings up to the Perchy. They have a big walk, this nature reserve near us in the morning. And we're talking about Celtics winning the titles with 55. And Ellie's 23. And I was like, you're not that far off. I've seen half of our league titles. You know, and then we start we started talking about trebles. So she was born in 2001, right? So we won that was 2000, 2001 was the first one in my lifetime, right? Because we'd won 67 and 68.
Yep.
So she missed the first one, right? So we've won 8 so far. So she's seen 5 and she'll be with me tomorrow. You see 6.
Fuck's sake.
So,
and do you know what, Jason? There'll be kids this year going, like Ali's age, going, this is a shade treble, sure it wasn't invincible.
Aye. And you got to realise, because we won our last one in 68, 69. I was born in 71, and we didn't win our next one in 2000. So 29 years. And then, by the way, after that, with another 16-year wait. So it's... When you actually break it down, if we win the treble tomorrow, Celtic's won. So my daughter's 23. Celtic formed in 1888. My daughter's seen 2/3 of the trebles that we've won.
Do you know what? That's glorious.
That's fucking mental. See,
we are so fucking lucky.
But Joe, yeah, we're definitely lucky, right? I would like, we spoke about it, I'd say a month and a half ago about that. Remember, Jason, I was saying about the vote that Scottish Football took to keep their own receipts.
Aye.
Celtic fans have led to this fact. Celtic fans, Fergus McCann deserves his point and he deserves his credit he's got to get. I know Marty will be, right? Fergus McCann deserves it. But Celtic fans built this club, sustained this club, kept this club, and where we are is because of Celtic fans.
And by the way, to be fair,
Jason. Paul Larkin said on this pod numerous times, no matter what you think of the boy, he says numerous times, Celtic are a big club because we go. Aberdeen talk about it, St Mirren talk about it, Hibs talk about it, that they could fill any stadium in the world if they're winning. Celtic fucking built this club. That's what makes us a big club. That's what makes us the fucking team we are.
And by the way, Fergus McCann's a Celtic fan or not.
Exactly.
Aye, it's our fans that make this club, and football without fans is nothing. But when you should
get that in a t-shirt. I've never heard that before.
but when me and Ellie were talking about it, she was laughing, and I'm like the amount of trebles she's seen, because she's seen them all. Because the three that she didn't see, the next one we got was 2016. She was so she's actually been a season ticket holder. If God willing we win tomorrow, she's been a season ticket holder for 2/3 of Celtic's trebles they've won since 1888.
And see that, Jay? That's an incredible barometer, isn't it?
But I mean, all that bullshit about fucking.
You've lived your life now. You've raised a child that has seen that, and you've seen it with her.
But all that bullshit about the Huns being the most successful team in the world and all that stuff. And there was something on a while ago saying if you're a Hun, you have to have been born in like the early 1930s to be, to see any more successful Rangers team than a Celtic team. Like, what the fuck does that tell you? What does your future hold?
Jabo, what did you think of the Brazen Heat banner?
Brilliant, mate. And by the way, see folk who say I don't want to make a big deal of it. Get to fucking celebrate it.
Yeah, I'm right about that too. That's
right, Jason.
Ram it right down their throats because all they did. And by the way, shows how stupid they are because they must have seen this coming 10 years ago. And they should have been saying to themselves, let's fucking simmer down in this, boys.
Foresight is not a well-known
skill. Definitely not.
In typical homeboy fashion, let's go over the exact same thing that was spoken about for fucking a million times. Jason Higgins says, I agree with him 100%. I didn't know what number Celtic had won in anything. Apart from I knew that we'd won more Scottish Cups because as Marty Flynn will tell you, I fucking love the Scottish Cup. But the Scottish Cup's such a nice trophy. League Cup's a pile of shite. It's a Hun-looking trophy. It's got 3 fucking legs. Scottish Cup, brilliant, man. Anyway, Jason, you says not one of us knew how many. Some country said the many trophies Celtic won. I don't know, fucking loads. Hopefully we win the next one. That's what we said. And they jobbies just kept going. That 55 just to kind of validate. We're the same. And now we've took it off name. I'm going to get my 5 stars this week as well, man. Jobby bastards.
You're right, Scott. I have never.
Besides my neck, Marty, I gave about 15 in there, mate.
I have never thought about numbers of I'm allergic to numbers anyway, in general. I've never thought about
fucking start times you're allergic to your guys.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Numbers are a thing. I just love the fact that we can now make it nonsense of it. Like,
do you know what? Jam into them for the next year, and then after that, don't give a fuck.
here, by the way, the Celtic Twitter was fucking on fire the other day.
Well, somebody sent me. I can't mind what it was. I was doing in Liverpool and I was juiced. But somebody sent me some stuff and it was hilarious.
What was the fucking simply that deleted?
Yeah.
That one.
The last one was Another Day in Paradise. I was like, you know what? That is fucking.
But
Chef's
I think
good.
I'm standing with Magoo at the game, right? And see when it finished, I say Magoo's like that straight to me. The two's like each other. We missed a trick here. We should have played simply the best.
Fucking right.
Yeah,
I agree.
I was fully expecting it to be honest.
Take it off him. Take everything off him.
They can keep something the best. Honestly, God, they can keep it a fucking dirtier song.
I know, but
no, you're right. Marty's right. Just dirty the water.
You're not going to play.
I know, but it's such a rubbish song.
I know. But see if they'd have dropped the place would have fucking went nuts.
What was that, American Ninja?
No, that's an actual China O'Brien sequel.
China fucking Brand. China Brand. Go you back to Ireland.
Go you back to Ireland, Joe.
I mean, back to Ireland, Joe.
Fuck off back to Ireland, you fucking big Celtic season.
We're in Ireland.
Imagine a supposed, and I'm doing air quotes, supposed Celtic fan saying that, going back to Ireland. Fucking, you should have fucking rock bottomed them, mate.
RKO.
It was at that point that I pointed and went, we're done here, and turned my back and went, I can't face this anymore because it's going to turn nasty. So.
Anyway, you've cheered me up, man. Well done.
That was fun, lads. That was fun.
Right, so we've got 3 questions on the chat.
Wait, what are they? I'm not
right.
Not these wankers.
Right for the off. This one happened about 14 years ago. He's probably not even listening anymore. Will the weather change how Celtic will play? That's for Joseph Agnew. Joseph, thanks. I know you listen. What a fucking guy, Joseph.
I'm stumped. I'm a bit stumped.
No, I'm not fucking stumped. I actually think bad weather will be worse for Aberdeen because Aberdeen need to keep a real good shape. They have to be on their ball. If the likes of Maida and Forrest and Kuhn are having the sort of days we think they might have, nice slick pitch. Remember we beat Aberdeen that day in the fucking rain. The Rajic goal too. So I think Aberdeen slipping about, making defensive mistakes is a fucking problem for them. I think we will be much less affected by the rain if it's raining. But I looked at the day, the weather forecast didn't look that bad. It was like 20% of rain or chance of rain or something like that.
Well, 20% of rain means actually 20% of the actual area, not 20%.
Area, well done, Joe. I do that as well.
Well,
I don't understand it, but I do it.
No, let's talk about weather conditions then. See if it heals. Well, then it heals. Ah!
Right, boys, I'm off.
Fucking hell. Wrap this up. We're taking
fuck.
Wait till you hear this question, right? Wait till you hear this question. Could Wrexham maybe dip into the Scottish market now they have a bigger championship money?
Ooh. You know what?
Joe, you've been a resident.
I wouldn't be against having a wee bit of Ryan Reynolds up at Celtic Park, does he?
Well, I'll tell you, boys, right? So, I think I mentioned this last time. I don't remember because I was blotto. I started following a fella. Did I say this, Joe? Were you on last time with me?
You might have mentioned that. I might have heard of this somehow.
But I want to get this boy on a podcast. Wrexham fan. I told you he travelled from Wrexham up to Liverpool to watch Charlie and the Boys. Did I tell you that?
That's not really a fucking long journey in fairness, sounds.
But he's a Wrexham fan going to see Charlie and the Boys.
Loads of Wrexham fans are into Charlie and the Boys.
But the boy does a podcast. He does a podcast, and he jams it. He's on Twitter, and he jams it right into every cunt. So they all give him dog's abuse. He's got a very distinctive face.
I love this guy, already.
I fucking love the guy.
What's
right?
it? Send me on some links here. I want to see this.
Mate, I'll follow him because it was like I said, this boy's class. I think we should get him on. We should get him on a show because I'll send you a link to one of his pods. We should get him on because I was one at day one with him, and then I watched it and I was like, nah, all the boys would appreciate this cunt, and we should sit and just talk to him because it would be interesting because he's been a fan before all the snash happened. Excuse me, before all the good shit happened. So it'd be interesting to see because Jason, me and you have often spoke. What if somebody bought our club and try to make them into something? What would you do? Do you know what I mean? And because see, to be honest, two American fucking movie stars have bought your club. As a traditionalist, you're sitting there going, fuck.
I know, but
but the thing is, see at the time, see when they bought it. I mean, I don't tell you, we'd a Wrexham fan up in the Grun, me and Magoo's mate. I took him to the game and he was with us all night. I dropped him off in his digs in Hamilton. He was up working and he was going to the Wrexham game the next night. So he told us that the highest Wrexham have ever been in their history, they've never been in the top division. Yeah. The highest they've ever been is the second division. And that's where his dad watched them. And he went when he was a kid, but he could hardly remember it when they were in the second tier. So he's only watched them with shite. So he says we were at the depths of despair when these two guys come in. So he says we were all just like, fucking go for it.
So to put a wee bit of context before you finish your story, Jason, is that they ended up fan ownership, and as well we know fan ownership brilliant for protecting your club. It's very limited in terms of growing the club. So my apologies.
No. But it's a great point because it's maybe good when you're basically at the second or third tier of English football and you're happy with that.
Yeah.
And it could maybe protect you and then you could just carry on and whatever. But they were at the depths of despair. No, they fell out of the proper 4 leagues. So he's like, but then he says, you've no fucking idea what that's done for our. He says, because do you know what? The funny thing is, right? See, Everton have got loads of fans for North Wales, tons, right? But they don't have many fans for Wrexham. Because nearly everybody in Wrexham supports Wrexham, but it's not that big a place. And their big derby was Chester, but they're shite now. So now it's Shrewsbury Town. And obviously they've went up the division now and Shrewsbury hasn't. And he says, you'd be going out and say you and your mates met for a pint on a Tuesday night. You get your fucking boozer in Wrexham, there'd be some fucking Hollywood superstar sit and get a fucking drink. He says, there'd be Yanks would be coming, they'd be in London and they would get trains to Wrexham just to go because they knew, like some Hollywood superstars, they knew the two guys that brought Wrexham. And he says, we need to go to Wrexham.
Have you watched? I don't think you've watched it, Jason.
I haven't even watched it, mate.
Me and Joe were fucking body deep in it, weren't we, Joe, man?
Jay, you have to watch it, mate, because
it's
what it is.
Even the Celtic got fucking mentioned at one point. It's
an incredible demonstration of what it can be if you put a football club into safe and considerate hands. I mean, I approached it with complete skepticism. Once they bought the club,
I told you to watch it. I remember.
Fuck me, I was like, and then I watched the first episode and I was like, you know what? These two cons are quite genuine. And I watched it further and further, and all they've done is said to themselves, what's it going to cost us to bring this? And here's the thing: best thing about the show is they fucking record every day on the show. They show you what they're spending. Wage bill, fucking pitch, the lot. They break it down in dollars, break it down in fucking euros. Everything's in English and Welsh and then American. It's fucking fantastic, man.
It's such a good show because of what you say, Joe. Right? Do you know it's no businessmen, right? but they are businessmen. I know they are businessmen generally, but it's sports fans who have made a lot of money and want to kind of get the buzz out of sports.
Their approach is so genuinely
It's wild,
perfect.
isn't it? It's wild.
That's what got me the first season. I was like, see these lads, because again, I watched the first episode going, these are a couple of dickheads, and see after 1-2 episodes, I was like, oh no, these lads are approaching this the entire way. Because your man, there's a Humphrey, is that his name?
Yeah. The chairman kind of guy.
He's kind of the fucking brains behind the idea at the end of the day. He was the guy that said to them, listen, English football works in a fucking relegation promotion way. And they were like, what the fuck? Because obviously North American sports doesn't work in that capacity.
We could over-egg it. I suggest, Jabo, you and the missus. I know your missus is not a football fan.
Watch 3 episodes.
It's really, really good. Because they do touch into everything about Wrexham.
But it's all about the people. It's all about the
history of the
people.
What about the boy who's got social anxiety and won't get to the grunt? You know what I mean? And he just likes taking 40s. And they kind of, they're like, we'll just keep sending us the 40s. And they keep using these 40s. But he won't get the grunt because he's got social anxiety. And it's fucking magic, man.
Jason, see the stories they uncover in this club. It would blow your mind. It's amazing to watch. It's not even about football sometimes.
So anyway, it's more about the people. If we getting this guy on, I send him a text, is he coming on for every night?
Get him on the fuck.
Get him on. What do you mean get him on? You haven't even read out the fucking third question from the cunts in the chat.
Yeah, no, because we've not even answered these fucking questions.
Hurry up the
Should Wrexham maybe dip into the Scottish market now they have a bigger championship? Well, considering Wrexham just had fucking Stephen Fletcher, they've already had their worth. Fuck them. It's a fair point. It's a fair point, but I don't think they're going to be dipping into our pocket. So
the bottom line is Italian clubs are dipping into the Scottish market. So why the fuck should Wrexham though? I think the Scottish market's now
criminally underrated.
But I think now it's getting to be realised what can be achieved by getting players to Scotland. And
it's almost as if cunts should have been listening to us years ago, Jason, when we say Scottish football shouldn't be looking to England. We should be looking abroad, and abroad should be looking to us. That's yes. Fuck it.
Lewis Ferguson won the Cup of Italia. What the fuck?
Scotty Johnson is right.
See, you're talking about actually. You look at Italian football, right? And you actually say, right, the 2 teams that have won Serie A and Coppa Italia, their 2 main players, Scott McTominay and Lewis Ferguson. Fucking there you go.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Ferguson's, I was reading yesterday we've been linked again with Evan Ferguson.
Why?
We were talking about it a few weeks ago. So he's been linked again. He was linked yesterday.
Would you say, Joe, there, the Bettystown Beto?
The Bettystown Beto.
Brilliant, man, brilliant. I've been in Bettystown, fucking crack place.
That's what he said.
see that wee boozer with the thatched fucking roof?
Yep. Nice place for a paddle.
Donahue's.
What a pint of fucking Guinness that is, man.
Do you know, was I in there one day? Somebody's in there.
You're going to have to tell the listening fucking world where Bettystown is, for fuck's sake.
So Bettystown is essentially on the coast between
Drogheda
where
and
I live. Well, not Dublin, Drogheda and fucking Balbriggan, essentially. Right? So it's got a big Bettystown. It's got a massive kind of big beach.
Kind of holiday resort.
That's exactly what it is. Seaside town.
That's where Evan Ferguson's from. He's from Bettystown.
That's right.
I took my way down up fucking
Joe, before you go, to the little listeners know,
before you get man.
The little listeners know Bettystown's right next to Laytown, and that's the last place if anybody's into horse racing where they have the horse racing on the beach.
I do the Laytown races,
the Laytown races. So that's right next to Bettystown.
Sing this song.
And it's round the corner from fucking Mosney too.
See the chapel there. Went to mass there on the Sunday, and they sing "Hail Queen of Heaven, the Star of the Sea," and you're looking out, and they've got the window at the back of the altar.
It's an incredible.
Right, I'm going to bring it.
An incredible view of more mountains.
I'm going to bring it back to the Italian football and Scottish, and obviously he's not
Scott.
But Shea Adams playing with Torino, who finished 11th. He scored 10 goals this season for them, playing 39 games. Now, here's a fact for you, J-Bo. Shea Adams, you know who I'm talking about, yes?
Yep.
His full name is Shea Zach Everton Fred Adams.
Fuck off.
There you go. How'd you feel about that? We're tying in everything.
That's got to be a Wikipedia wind-up, no?
I fucking love the boy already.
I might have ended that myself, but anyway, right. So, yes, I think Wrexham should and would. They might even take Greg Taylor. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
After Maeda leaves in the summer.
Oh, you missed it on the Alistair.
I never even fucking read this before I put it up.
Why are you fucking...
No, wait a minute. Alistair asked, do the boys think Rodgers
my
will stay
apologies.
after the 3 years? So this is final
Wow,
year.
there's a question. That's a real question. Fuck you, Sean. Right, Joe, go for it.
Shawnee Butler were my dirty man.
I think John Kennedy will be the next manager.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That wasn't a question.
That wasn't a question, you spanner.
Well, that's my answer.
That's your answer and you're sticking by it. You're not even answering my question.
Oh, after 3 years, yes, I do. I believe he'll do another 2 years.
Yeah. All right, perfect.
2? Fuck. Well done, you, Joe.
What about you, Scott?
No, go to Marty first.
Go to Marty.
I think he'd do his full 3 years. I don't think he'd do another.
No. Right, but
You think he's done after this?
So you're saying this is his final year with us?
Yeah, next year will be. He's going to stay next year. He's already said he's staying. He's not talking about anything.
No.
Nobody's arguing that.
We get that.
But I don't think he'll be here after next year. No, I think he'll do his time and then blow.
Well, you would know more than any of us. So
no, I'm not that. No, hold on.
No. Here
I have no clairvoyance whatsoever, but I think Rodgers would see other challenges for himself. He has his holiday home in Spain, quite likes the hot weather. I think he would be looking at a European club just to see. And he can't.
Marty Flynn knows the crack.
But you wouldn't be complaining. Like, I mean, if he was here and give us fucking 2.5 travels, fuck's sake.
100%.
No, Celtic fans are widely known for being fucking responsive.
Tolerant people.
Maybe people crack up or go fucking bonkers around like that.
So Scott, I'm glad you stayed to the second.
I reckon we'll get another year. I reckon they'll sign us another year.
Aye.
And I think it'll be announced like just as the fucking this is that boom, and he'll get his day in the summer and he'll walk out with the hands up. I reckon we'll get another year of him.
Scott's wet dream here, Jesus. Fuck.
No, see. I think Scott's right. I think next year in Europe will be the barometer for what he thinks the ceiling might be.
Yeah, but however, Marty's conservative view might be bang on the button. See, we fuck the cunt about this summer. You'll be like, you can ram this right up your hole.
Because well, that's the mistake you don't make twice, no?
He's definitely got 3 or 4 years in Spain or Italy in him.
Oh, he has 100%. He's not that old. So what age, Rodgers? 50?
Nah.
53, 4?
He's going to be one of them grey-haired managers.
Oh, 100%.
No, is he fuck?
Oh, he will.
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers is going to be on your telly fucking pontificating, telling you.
No.
I don't buy that at all.
You have to think about who Rodgers looks up to. So if you were to say to Rodgers, who would you want to be? If you could pick another manager and jump into their suit,
Carlo Ancelotti or something.
100%, Jason. Yes. You would be saying Ancelotti. He'd die on the fucking side of a pitch. He'd be like Jack Steen.
I'll be honest with you, right? deep down, I know he loves Glasgow, family are settled and stuff like that, but he's an egomaniac. And fair play to him, right? Because he's a very, very, like, he's a driven individual, right?
Egos can work out though very, very well.
I'm not sure anybody's calling him an egomaniac this time whatsoever. I think he has come back a far more considered manager.
Oh, I would agree. I would agree with you, Matty, but I still.
You know what? I just don't. I think that's a bit of a caricature of him based on that fucking,
Brilliant.
Gucci belt shit. Yeah.
Well, no,
based on that, what do you call it, that fucking stupid documentary Liverpool done on him. Do you know what I mean? But if you listen to him, one example is the media, right? So we all just fucking sort of roll our eyes at the Scottish media. I cannot fathom Harry so patient with them. He never fucking loses the rag with the press. Like you saw Ange doing it this week. Rodgers is always very respectful of them, no matter what fucking stupid fucking cake they ask. He's fulsome in his answers. Do you know what I mean? If he thought he was the man, he wouldn't do that. He would just dismiss them and go, "You don't understand me. I'm the fucking man."
But Angus a lot different. Ange's been managing a team that's been getting battered left, right, and
No. Listen, but Ange is a fucking egomaniac, Scott or Jason. Like Ange is an archetypal A-grade Australian male.
My way.
What I mean? You know what I mean? He's just fucking. He's a fucking sociopath. Like, it's all that sitting beside you for fucking 9 hours in a flight and doesn't talk. What the fuck? That's not normal. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but that also works too.
Aye, but
whatever works, Joe. I'm not arguing, but what I'm saying.
I would actually say you're describing Rodgers rather than Ange.
No, if you were sitting on a fucking plane with
I get that.
He'd be fucking chatting away till you all the day. He'd be trying to offer the wisdom of life to you. Whereas Ange just ignores you and be a
Aye, but people have got different ways of dealing with it. But I think Rodgers. But see, at the end of the day, both of them are very, very driven football managers, right? That's without a doubt, right? So my take is I'm more on the Marty side that I think. But I'm going to pull myself back here. I'm kind of agreeing with Scott now, or Joe, that say that it all depends on what we do this summer and how we back them, and effectively how we perform in the Champions League. Look, for instance, say we got to the last 8 of the Champions League and we were unlucky to get knocked out and we took a right few big scalps and whatever, just dreaming here. But I think if we did that, then I think he would give us another year or two, because he would say, I've got this team here and I reckon I could maybe do this next year. You know, he would dream and say, we could maybe do it. But
so Celtic's ambition need to match his.
Aye.
He has a way he wants us.
But the thing is, if it all goes Pete Tong, then his stock isn't high, because then the Ancelotti thing. But I think then the other thing comes in as well. If you then take that and you get to that level and you take the Celtic team to the last 8 or the semis, which is massive, probably out of our reach, but it could happen if the stars aligned, then his stock would be his highest.
Yeah.
He's at the end of his deal. He's done everything he said he was going to do. And by the way, we would be devastated. We'd leave and we would all be sick, but nobody would be decrying him like we did the last time, because he came and done what he said he was going to do, and he done it. And what a fucking journey we've had. And he leaves. And then see if he goes to like an Inter Milan or something like that, or somebody comes in for him, he goes with the best wishes. And you know what? See, after that, you would be actually, no, it's like, once you leave Celtic, you're dead to me. I said that about everybody, but do you know what? There was a wee bit and he was smiling and Ange won the fucking cup. You know?
Yes! I'm in the fucking, I am a legend now in the fucking Chas and Dave.
So convoluted.
Was it makes one plays, does it?
You got a beautiful face.
You got a beautiful.
I'm a banana.
We're the Tottenham, we are the Super Spurs.
Kenny,
So
everybody's
aye.
telling me I was spot on.
Jason, I thought that was it's Jason. I think
You're bang on, Jay.
I agree with the vast majority of that. The thing is, you went for fucking the last day, your quarterfinals, and you're going, I think it's a semi-final. I don't know. I mean, see this year, Champions League. I mean, do you know what? I'm going to hold that part. We can talk about this part once the season's done.
Wait,
but
what's the last
I just-
question there? The fuck? That's the question answered because I need to get them.
Yes, well done. What's wrong with your face?
Jay, that's the best way to fucking end the
Becky
show because it was like you're right. Everything you say is bang on.
Right.
I just feel we could only cut our own fucking nose off now.
Sean the prick as well.
Sean the prick.
Ask him
After
where my dirty mag is.
why don't you ask him, Marty?
Where's my
I
dirty
don't
mag?
understand why I've got to ask him that you can't ask him. You
Put it
asked
down
him
for a
for
wank.
the
Hurry
dirty mag.
So Sean's asked after
Maida leaves in the summer.
Yep.
Do you think, or better still, do you have faith the club will get a suitable replacement?
No.
On that bombshell, I'm just going.
Not unless we're saying Clark Kent.
Wait a minute, we've got an answer to one question. Haven't posted it yet.
Hurry up, Sean, my balls are blue.
Right.
He's got beautiful blue.
That's enough for you, cunt. Right.
Here,
right,
I say yes.
Right. Oh, here,
Because
Marty.
We'll have a good record of bam strikers and shit like that, so I think we'll be all right.
Marty, it's impossible.
No, I'm not saying you would get the same fucking striker, but we will find a striker who'll do the fucking business for us. What's this?
But it's impossible to replace him.
No, he's a fucking mad cunt. I mean, he's a one-off freak.
And now we'll find whether Skip's premonitions came through that nobody would pay about more than 10 million for him because they don't rate him. We'll see what happens in the summer.
That's a fucking dig up and a half hour. Holy fuck.
No,
Marty.
but I hope Skip's right.
Before we finish, Marty, should we do our, I suppose, our fundraising update?
What about?
About the money,
you can,
the money spent?
Without naming names, you can give a
sorry, yes. Fuck, I thought you meant you were asking me to ask for money.
No.
Well, okay. So I will need to be a wee bit careful.
I'll do my update, need you update if you want. I start mine if you want.
No, it's fine. No, that's fine. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure I don't drop any names. Anyway, look, folks, as you know, we made that fucking much money off the Christmas appeal that we couldn't get rid of it. So it hasn't ended up a Christmas appeal. In many ways, we're holding back money for the summertime to look, things like school, poverty and stuff like that. So we'd still have a wee bit in the tank that we've been dribbling and drabbing out. And Joe will talk about that a wee bit in a minute. But I just want to talk personally about one of the families that I helped here. And by saying I helped, I mean fucking you helped. Your money went to help a wee family here. And I spoke about them before, that we had paid for things like an oil fill of oil during the winter. What do you call it? Electric for the house. And things like one of the IPTVs was given to the children in the house and stuff like that. So it's a young mother with two kids. One would be, I think, maybe 12 or 13, and the wee girl is 17. So when we started helping this family, it was a couple of years back, so the kids were still very small at that stage. So I got word last night that the older child, the young girl in the house, who's to say 16, 17, her school applied for one of those really major international scholarships, and she was accepted. So she's having her entire university fees paid for the entire duration of her university. So they're so confident this child isn't even. It's just about to do her A levels. She hasn't done her A levels yet, but they know that she's so intelligent that she's going to fucking scoosh her A levels. And I found out last night that she's studying mathematics, chemistry, and biology to A level. And as I say, she's been accepted for the scholarship. As part of the scholarship, there's a fellowship aspect to it. So she's being taken away once a year for the next few years to be kind of coached in leadership and all that sort of thing. And she remains in that scheme for life. So she's there for the rest of her life in this incredible framework or environment. So the update from us is basically our listeners helped keep lights on in that home so that the child could study, and helped keep oil in the oil tank over the winter to keep the children warm. And in fact, I'm sure I spoke about this because I went up to the house one night to check on them, and at that time, a neighbour had actually taken them into their house and was feeding them and keeping them warm. So that was the situation that that family was in not a very long time ago. So I just shared the news last night with the boys. So the kid is being taken away, obviously. Shortly, she's going away in July. So on behalf of the HomeBhoys listeners, we went today and got her some vouchers for boots, for like toiletries and things like that. We got her a voucher for clothes, for some of the shit like O'Neill's and things like the shops here, that she could go and buy some clothes for herself. Also one of the kind of nicer clothes shops as well, so that she could get something maybe if she needs to dress up at night or something like that. And also a book voucher for Waterstones in case you needed to get books and things like that, whatever. So again, that was done today. A card was handed to the child's mother this afternoon with all the vouchers in it, and on the card, as the boys will confirm, the HomeBhoys was mentioned on the card. With all our love from the HomeBhoys. So again, it's just we never charge for the podcast. We always ask for a few bob. Our listeners are ridiculously fucking generous, and so are the people who always come forward with praises every year. But it's just to reassure you that massive differences are being made by not a lot of money. Like it's a couple of £100 out of all the thousands that were raised, has literally transformed a family's life forever. Forever. This child's going to be looked after now forever by people who have the means to do that. But you guys were part of that, getting that child over the line, and she's now going to have a transformative effect on her brother and her mommy and people coming behind. So, look, I just wanted to thank everybody again for all the help you get. It's May, you know what I mean? We don't usually start talking about the fucking appeal until the night the clocks go back, you know. So it was just a wee update to let you know, and just again to tell you how grateful we are. We are lucky we get to see it firsthand. You know, we get to see the difference the families make, especially Joe. But I've been proud to be a part of it too. So look, there's just a fucking bit on the eve of a cup final when we're going to be celebrating everything. Let's celebrate our own kids. Let's think about the penny dinner tables. Let's think about why Celtic was formed. Let's think about the impact that our club has made through charity and all our fans for the last 40 years. This has been in our DNA, and we'll keep it going.
Yeah, well said, Marty. Well said. I mean,
You know what? See, when you posted that, mate, it brought a wee tear to my eye. It was so delighted for, and I don't know if you emphasised it enough there, but some of the kids won't have the chance to have that education, but she's got that sponsored now, that it's free. And that's...
Yeah, there's no way she could have afforded, her family couldn't have afforded that university fees, just would have been impossible.
Yeah.
And the school knew that, so it was actually the school that stepped in and applied to the fund, because the kid wouldn't know to apply to that fund. Certainly her mommy wouldn't have a clue.
And
do you know what I mean? So that's like, it's
The
like
rip-
helping
the
unlock
ripple of these goose deeds, the ripple of these goose deeds just is immeasurable, folks. At the end of the day, it's hard to comprehend where your money goes and what it does. I mean, again, we sent 500 quid to a guy called Jerry Polly in Belfast. I've known him for a few years now, and I found out Jerry was a courier, and he was dealing with homeless people, and he was like dipping his own pocket and finding beds and giving them food, and we give him 500 quid, and he texts me all the time about what he's done. Your money got 2 beds tonight. Your money got this person hygiene products tonight. Your money got this tonight. So see, the money you've given us will always go to ripple a good effect in the world. And that's like that thing with that young lady, Marty, was amazing, because it's like, you just don't know what it can mean.
Yep.
No,
100%.
100%. But the point I want to make there, Mark, is a lot of the listeners have been in Scotland, right? They seen Scotland. I didn't realise it was different in the north. That you get free
Yeah, so
university in Scotland.
I actually had a chat with a child last night. It was last night or the night before. Was it last night? And her mummy, I rang the mum and had a chat with her, and then she says, "Look, she's here. She wants to speak to you." So she put her on the phone. We were chatting away, and I was just trying to give her general advice and saying, explaining to her the difference in the system. So the Scottish system's free. You don't pay for third level education. Here, you pay $5,000. In fact, the universities wanted it bumped by $1,000 this week, and the government refused to let them do it. And this is the reason why, because ordinary working class people just will be locked out of a third level environment. And if a child is shown the type of potential where she can fucking take on 3 A levels, maths, chemistry, and biology, that child would potentially be locked out of third level education. And all her potential and all her know-how and energy would be fucking lost.
Yeah.
So it's scandalous.
Aye.
So this way, this grant that has been provided for by the foundation takes that burden away. She will be instantly in the whatever university she wants to go to. That will all be covered. She gets like a stipend for her living expenses, and she's part of this alumni fellowship for the rest of her life. So she'll always be part of
Incredible.
that thing.
Brilliant.
And as I say, we help heat her home. We help keep electric in the meter to help her study at night time. Like during the winter when kids are at school. Our listeners did that.
Fantastic.
She's probably going to end up representing one of us in court at some point, so that's good.
Aye.
Oh,
I just wanted to make the point.
Good to have.
no.
Scott, what is it the saying? What is it the saying? Andor, Scott, I have friends everywhere.
I have friends everywhere, yeah.
Friends everywhere.
Folks,
When he's
and
friends
that's what we need.
everywhere.
Mate,
Folks,
see as we get down this fucking line, man, and these cunts are taking everything off us. We need cunts like that. We need friends. We need to take down this fucking whole system. I hate every cunt who's got money.
That's right.
free Palestine.
Jason,
Kneecap a boo.
Jason, where are you?
I'm here.
Tell us about the microphone then.
No, that was the after show.
All right, okay, sorry, my apologies.
Folks, up a Kneecap. Let's go. Have you heard Kneecap's new song? Nah. Fucking brilliant.
Well done, Joe. Brilliant. What a promotional video. You should be on the tour.
Fuck me, Joe.
3 hours.
The Glastonbury marketing department will be hunting you after that.
Astonbury. Let's go.